is new. The White Star is new. And in the back there, the Pure All gasoline, that's new. So we're always – it looks full, but you can keep jamming stuff in.
Well, we know that because I remember I came out here, I think you only had a few signs.
That's right.
But I've seen this sign collection grow exponentially. Now, there's a John Hovis word.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm from Memorial.
I know that. And when you say that, you're supposed to put up your little pinky finger. Because,
Indeed.
when in doubt, pinky out. Yeah. Wow. And Mother Pin Motor Oil. I don't know about that either.
That one's been there almost since day one.
Well, that's
pretty
great.
close.
Well, yeah, blind Don,
That's right.
Since we're showing the wide shot, let's show the wide shot from behind. No, this one behind us, the middle one there. Yeah. So this thing that people are looking at if they're watching us, it's this thing behind us here, and I always find that story fascinating, and I hope that you'll share that with us, John.
Okay.
Tell us about the sign and how you got it.
Okay, so that sign came off of Rustler Chevrolet in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. It was a double-sided sign on top of a Chevrolet dealership. Mm-hmm. That's Rusty the Rustler, and their slogan was I can't remember the slogan now.
Welcome to my world, buddy.
Yeah, I can't think of the name. But anyway, a cool sign. They had to pay Looney Tunes or Warner Bros. I think Looney Tunes a fee to use Porky the Pig.
Is that Porky?
Oh. That's Porky.
Boy, he's been on a diet on that one.
Yeah, he has.
So they neoned him up as a rootin' tootin' cowboy.
It was originally a neon porcelain sign. We added the gunshot blast to animate it.
Perfect.
And it just happened to fit in that area like we'd framed it. Almost perfect fit.
Well, that's been here from the beginning.
Day one.
Yeah.
That was the first sign we ever put up.
Well, I'll tell you what, because that is the signature, for me,
yes.
the signature sign, and it speaks volumes about who you are.
Well, maybe
our generation.
Yes, that's right, it does. And it's kind of an iconic sign now for HEMI Hideout, like the Bull in the Astrodome is an iconic sign.
Right. Yep.
But if you grew up in the southeast corner of Missouri in the 1950s and 60s, you recognize that sign. That was a huge thing on top of the dealership. So,
well, there used to be, what was the name of the car dealership down on the Gulf Freeway here locally? Sam the Rocket Man Oldsmobile, and they had the big rocket ship out front of the Oldsmobile dealership.
That was cool.
Wasn't it? And that was Sam the Rocket Man.
Yeah, we had some great neon signs, and this is what we're trying to capture here. The 1950s or 60s, the heyday of neon when I was younger, or a boy really, and then the 60s was really the tail end, and now it continues. The neon signs are electrically inefficient. We're burning probably 1,100 amps of power right now as we sit. And, of course, LEDs taking over, but nothing has a look like neon.
That's right.
So,
and just for all of you tree huggers out there, let's tell everybody that you kind of got your own. You got your own air conditioning system. You're kind of on your own.
Your own grid.
Here. Yeah. Your own. Little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. So
still got a pretty ferocious electric bill with all these signs on, but we are geothermal air conditioned, so that
helps.
Yeah.
Well, especially when it's 108 degrees outside.
That's right.
Not that today, but yeah,
That's right.
Exactly. Has your car collection grown at all?
Nope, no, it's actually shrunk, and it'll continue to shrink a little bit as time goes.
So what's that about, and what cars have you gotten rid of?
Well, all the guys that love the 55, 56, 57 Chevrolets and the Thunderbirds and all that stuff, those guys have gotten older, and they've sold their cars that they loved when they were kids, and now the prices of those have come way down. So if I sit on this late 60s, early 70s stuff too long, what I think is cool, the next generation think, it's nice, but,
Yeah.
So there's a time to buy and time to sell.
And there's a lot of truth to that. We talked to our buddy Woody with Auto Appraisal Network last week, I think it was, or maybe the week before.
A week or so.
And that generational change you're talking about, this older group,
Yep.
the younger kids aren't interested in it.
That's
so
true.
They're selling them off, and there's nobody there to buy them.
Well, I think, John, that the writing's on the wall. I think what you need to do is you need to go to all the Rice Rockets. Bring those all in here.
Yeah. Well, I might do that. Well, I'm still stuck on Triumphs.
I saw them.
Triumphs and BSA.
There's one of them I'd like to have
Yeah.
over there if you decide you want to get out of that business.
Yeah, okay. But, things that were fun for me, trying to hang on to the good old days is what this is all about. And I tell everybody I've purchased the ability to look after this stuff for a little window, and then it'll go on to somebody else. My wife really doesn't care about it, or my kids don't really care about it, so it'll go on to somebody else one day, and it'll be what it'll be.
But in the meantime, we're going to have our fun while we can do that.
All of us are going to go down swinging.
Yes, we are.
So the clock's ticking on us.
One way or another, we're
one
going
way or
down.
the other, but I'm going to go down swinging.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was telling John off the air before we went on this morning the trials and tribulations in owning a 23-year-old car.
Yes.
Never been wrecked or anything like that. I bought it with 16,000 miles on it, and now it's got 33,000 miles on it. So I've driven it a bit, but the problem is now not mechanical. It's electrical. I've got more electrical issues with the Corvette than you can imagine because the stuff is, hung up. The latest thing that I've discovered is the telescoping steering wheel. It doesn't work anymore. So how do you fix that? Take the steering wheel off and get down inside the steering column. Guess what? It's got an airbag in front of it. You think I'm going to mess with that?
No.
Oh, heck no.
I'd like to be there when you do.
Yeah, I know you would.
Yeah,
so you could put
set up a camera about 20 feet away.
so you can put the two wires together and go boom, boom. Yeah, I know you. So the car collection. So what have you sold out of the car collection?
Well, I had a 66 Cornet HEMI. I sold that. I had a 1971 triple black Cuda that was a 383 car. I sold that. There's been 2 or 3, Don, but not a whole lot. And
do you still have any in the auxiliary barn back in the back?
I have Diane's Packard convertible. It's really a cool car, 56 convertible, and a 2-door Suburban. You don't see many of those.
No.
Wow.
They're rare.
My gosh, what is that from the 50s?
60s, 66 model.
Really?
In the early days of the Suburban, they were 3-door, remember?
Right,
yes.
yeah.
And you see those, but 2 doors are rare. So to get into the back, you had to fold up the passenger seat and everybody climb in. It's really kind of a weird setup, but you don't see 2-door Suburbans. Would you like to buy one?
No, I'm good right now.
Well, I tell you what, next time we need to replace the in-wheel time truck, that might hook us up there.
It's cool. It's beautiful, too.
Yeah.
I don't want to know how much you want for it, though.
You don't worry about it.
No, I won't because I can't afford it anyway. All right, so in the HEMI Hideout, you also have a 1950s style diner.
Yes.
Did you steal that idea from an actual diner from the 50s?
I can't say we stole it from a specific one, but we caught the flavor. And Shelley Gates, the young lady that did interior design here, she bought all the fabrics and materials and had the carpenters build it. So it has the look of a 1950s diner. It's not officially an old one.
Didn't you tell me, though, that that wasn't in the original plans of the Hideout? Did I hear
Things
that?
just evolved. Yeah, I don't think we had plans to put that in. It just happened.
Yeah.
And Bill Seitz, our friend, he had a lot of input on all this. It was 4 people that put heart and soul this initially, and then now as many as 30 people that put sweat equity into what we've done here. We all have ownership in this, but Bill and Shelley would have been the ones that
We
started
even have
it.
ownership in this, too.
You do indeed. We've
Yeah.
been friends a long time. You guys have been a big part of it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We enjoy coming out here and doing these broadcasts. It's always an experience and a learning experience, to say the least. Texas Pacific Gasoline. I see one of those signs over there.
Yes.
And Texas Pacific, I don't believe that I've ever heard of that, but it does have the one thing that I do recognize, and that is the old Ethel gasoline logo
That's right.
insignia in the one that's on the floor back
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
And you don't see that anymore either.
No, and Texas Pacific was a railroad that was based out of Fort Worth, and they went from Texas to the West Coast. And at first, all the locomotives were wood burners, or coal burners. And then they discovered oil in Thurber, Texas. They bought the land, and they mined all the coal out, and then that's how they fed the locomotives. And then they found oil underneath. They converted all their locomotives to oil burners, and they produced so much oil out of this field, they started their own refinery and gas stations. So the one you're looking at with the Ethel logo would have been a curb sign, a mom-and-pop gas station, and then the one up above with the TP logo, the Indian TP, that would have been, a fancier sign that hung from a pole or off the building.
Yeah, sure. I don't see anything that draws my attention. But do you have anything around us here that besides the ones over here that you current?
Let's see. Well,
Current
Rebel Gas. Rebel Gas is out of Ridley, Mississippi, and they sold gasoline in the areas around Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, Tennessee. I'm assuming. I'm not sure exactly, but only 20 some odd of those signs were ever made. So you got the Rebel Oil, and then down there behind that Dixie sign it says Rebel Gas. There were only 20-something signs of the gasoline, and I think 16 of the oil. These are rare. So people love them. We have people sometimes, we'll have folks, businesses that want to come rent HEMI Hideout, and they want me to cover that up. And I'm like, no, that's just a gasoline sign. It's just
there's
a
no
piece of
meaning
history.
beyond that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, no, I'm not covering it up or taking it down, all that. Yeah, no, that's a piece of what's going on. I'm proud of that. Have that
Absolutely. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I want to delve into just a little bit about how it evolved, because, I've kind of evolved with you, and you've taught me some things about the whole sign collection thing. Mm-hmm. And that was really new to you when you started the HEMI Hideout. And since then, clearly with this collection, that has evolved as well, because one guy tells another guy, and then they tell you, oh, yeah, John, I know this guy up in such and such, and he's got some signs like that. You contact him. And so this whole network, it's kind of like a car club.
That's true. And it's a tight circle.
Yeah, it's a tight circle. And, Craig Bierman kind of gave me some hints about that with his collection.
Yes.
And it's amazing the circles that are formed when you get into a hobby, and especially like signs.
That's right.
Cars, etc. It's amazing.
Yeah, so, when you break into that, you're trying to break into that crowd. You kind of have to be slip under the radar, not be too much of a loudmouth. You'd have a hard time dealing with that.
Thank you. I know that. Exactly.
But I'm saying you got to kind of have to quietly get into the group and pop up. If you go in there beating your gums and raising cane, you don't get in.
Right.
But to give you an example, that source and greenhouse sign we're looking at, a guy in Quebec found that. It was in LaGrange, Texas. He calls me, he said, man, you need to go take a look at this. I took off. As soon as he called me, I took off and I bought it. So, yeah, there's a network of people out there that help you find stuff.
So how did you network the monkeys?
I bought that. That was on an internet sale that a guy was selling out of Niagara Falls, and I know him. He's a dealer.
And didn't you post something? You've got a prehistoric elephant head or something, or what's dinosaur?
Well, there's a T-Rex skull.
That's
a replica. That's not the real deal. That's a replica.
Okay.
The turtle in there is 100 million years old.
The turtle.
But the
turtle's 100. That's a true.
It's 100 million years old. You can actually take a piece of the flesh and get within 100 years of how old it is. So give or take a million. But if you live to be 80 years old, that's 1,250,000 generations old.
See, you got goals, Don.
I do have goals. To be in part of John's collection.
I'm going to mummify you and stand you up in the corner.
I'm already mummified, my friend. You have no clue.
We're
going to
pickle him
really
tonight.
Yeah. Well, it's truly amazing. So we got more people coming in. The event officially starts at 10:30 this morning.
That's right.
And it's by now you have to register ahead.
Yes.
She checks the list, $10 a person.
Yes.
And you match the money to your local Brookshire charities.
Yes, Brookshire, Sealy, Katy, and Fulshire. And we have 7 charities we try to fund. So.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, John, it's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much, and we appreciate it. We're looking for the other 450 people to show up momentarily.
Yeah, so they're supposed to start coming in around 10, and they should be piling in here pretty quick.
So you're going to have your usual, let me show you a little bit about the HEMI Hideout on the microphone.
Yes, we'll do that at 11 o'clock.
Right. Well, hopefully we can plug into that and let everybody hear you.
Absolutely.
I'll let Shelley know you want to do that.
All right, very good.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Thank
John
you, guys.
Hovis, the host of today's HEMI Hideout event that I think is pretty much a sellout at this point. And if you're not here, you ain't coming. Just saying. All right. Time now for the racing calendar.
We got a break?
Oh, we have a break. Oh, okay. Let's do the break. And then we will do the racing calendar. Is that okay?
It's fine with me, sir.
All right. Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, coming to you live in many applications from the Hovis's HEMI Hideout out here in Brookshire, Texas this morning. Sharon just came up and said to me that there is a ginormous number of cars trying to get in. It's 10:30. It's that time of the morning. And so apparently they're all lined up and they're taking, and Mars is going to take his, after his review, he's going to take his camera out there and see what he can capture. We'll see how all that works out. In the meantime and in between time, before we get to Mars' review of the 23 Lexus LX 600, we're going to have Jeff do the racing calendar sponsored by the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
You bet. So right now, tomorrow, you've got the Atlanta Motor Speedway. You got NASCAR in Atlanta. That is coming on at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It is on Fox. There's tickets still available, Mike, so if you want to go, you better get going. IndyCar Series is starting March 10th, so we got a little bit of wait on that. Formula One is in Bahrain right now, where this past week they've been doing some testing, and of course they've got another.
That's your favorite.
They've got manhole covers again. They're hitting the manhole covers, and they're destroying cars and getting things of that nature.
Why don't they tack weld those things down?
It's Bahrain. I don't know. It's has something to do with it.
They're lucky they have
And then
toilets
March 9th,
over there.
you've got Pep Boys coming up with the NHRA. And again, back to the racing, you've got Cup practice going on right now on FS1. 10:30 this morning it starts.
I refuse to buy FS1.
Okay. And then you've got the truck race today at 1 p.m. on FS1. And then you also have the Xfinity race today at 4 o'clock. That's also on FX1. Tickets are available, so when you leave here, get going.
Guess what? I am not. I refuse to pay more money for television. I'm not doing it. If it's not on my Roku streaming, which ABC 13 is on there, or it's not on regular broadcast television, it ain't happening, brother.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
It's not going to happen.
Lots of money.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars had a chance to dive, not the 24, but the 23 Lexus LX 600 F Sport. Go, Mike.
I just made, yes. So this is the fourth generation of the LX series. And this came out in 2022, so they've been kind of doing some updates since
Is
then.
this the one with the weird back door? The way you have to open it to the side?
No.
They fixed that.
Yeah.
All right.
So it comes in 5 trim levels. You got the LX, which is actually a 5-passenger model. Comes in premium, F-Sport handling, luxury. Those are 7-passenger. And then you get to the ultra luxury, top of the line, very top of the line. It's actually a 4-passenger vehicle because it's got no third row and it's 2 bucket seats in the second row. So we were driving the F-Sport LX 600 F-Sport package. And so we had the 7-passenger model. So we had the 3 rows. That has the large grille up front, LED lighting up all around. Got the power moonroof inside of it. Got a power rear lift gate, roof rails. Roll on some really nice 22-inch F-Sport wheels that are strictly for the F-Sport models. And it has the active height control, so you can raise it and lower it, make it a little bit easier to get in and out of the vehicle. Typically, it shows going off-road a little bit. Yeah, you can. Don't get too far and don't get too crazy on it, but you can raise the car up to do that. Inside, we have the leather seating.
Do you know anybody that has ever done that? I don't know anybody with a luxury SUV to go off-roading. Unless they're running from the police,
well,
like John Hovis
I can think
does.
some dirt roads. There's a few places out West Texas. I would go down in some dirt roads that might, when it rained. Yeah, I could see it maybe. If I had 100,000 acres, I could do that, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you just continue being you.
Yeah.
Don't go changing.
So the front seats are heated and ventilated, and the second row seats are actually heated and ventilated on the two outboard positions. And the third row is a power folding rear seat that will drop down and make it a little bit easier to put cargo and stuff in the back of it. It's got a 12.3-inch touchscreen display right up front. It's also got a large heads-up display for the driver. Got lots of information in it. Works really well even in the daylight. An interesting note, it is a luxury vehicle, so naturally you've got a little refrigerator in the center console that you can keep your beverages cool.
Sure.
Uh-huh. What kind of beverages would those be, Mike?
The kind that are in cans. And you can also have...
I think they have cocktails in cans now, don't they?
Yeah, they used to.
I think they still do.
Has a wireless charger. You got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto to keep everybody happy, all the kids occupied. It's got a Mark Levinson 25-speaker audio system. I don't even know where you would put 25 speakers inside this vehicle, but it fills it up really nice.
I'm sure.
Now, up under the hood, 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6. Now, it does produce 409 horsepower for a full-time all-wheel drive. Now, this vehicle weighs 6,000 pounds, mind you, but it will tow 8,000 pounds.
Oh, my
God. It's got a 10-speed automatic. EPA says the city should be 17. The highway you should be looking for about 19. So I got right at 19 across 235 miles. Very nice driving vehicle, I will say that. It feels like it's got a lot of refined power to it. You don't really notice you've got a twin turbo under there. It's really quiet out on the highway. And I really like the way you sit in the vehicle. You can sit upright. You've got a great span of view across all the glass that's there. Makes it really nice for driving, and it's comfortable driving. The doors, they are wide opening doors. Makes it easy to get in and out, particularly the second row seat. If you're going to put child seats in there, you definitely want something like this to help it out. Now, base model price on the LX600 is $92,160. Now, the base trim price that we were driving is $102,025.
Cake.
MSRP as tested, $108,460. Now, if you're looking for something else in that category, you're going to step over to the Cadillac Escalade Sport Package, for example, $91,095. The Lincoln Navigator has a reserve package that's at $91,935, and the newer Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Now, the base on that one, is $90,495. So you step up into that full-size SUV, and this is the largest SUV that Lexus has, because the bigger one.
The bigger boy.
No, it's Toyota based, and there's one, and they don't bring it to the country anymore. The Land Cruiser.
Land Rover? Cruiser.
Yeah. They don't bring it to the country anymore. It's out. So this is the big one. If you want a Lexus and you want the biggest thing they got, this is going to be it. And it's in that luxury
and
SUV
you swear
category.
That it doesn't have a rear. It does have a rear hatch instead of that swinging door.
Yes, it lifts up.
Okay, because it used to be that model, I believe, was the one that had the door that swung out. So if you were in a parking spot and you want to load up some groceries, you ain't loading up that way if there's a car in front of you, because you open the door and now you're going to hit this person's bumper there. So you got to kind of, okay, so it doesn't do that anymore. Well, that's good to know.
This one didn't.
All right, well, I'm glad to know that. All right.
Good.
Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. And be sure to follow us on Facebook. We're back in a couple of minutos.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
From the world-famous HEMI Hideout in Brookshire, Texas, This is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Ahead, another guest or two attending today's open house, and later we'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike out of This World Mars, who's outside filming this ginormous backup.
He's getting ready.
Trying to get in here. We always need more Jeff Zekin.
We do.
IT manager David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. It's a crazy time out here at the HEMI Hideout, and thank you very much for joining us. Tim Ketchum, he is the manager, the head potentate, the president, the do-all for the Alamo Area Corvette Club. Did I get all of that right?
Well, not all of it. I'm not the president, but I'm just on the board. But
well, today you are.
I headed up.
You're our president.
Our
so
president.
we're honoring you as president.
We got a first lady out here. Is she the first lady?
Right there.
The president, first lady.
Very good. So Alamo. Let me think. There was a big anniversary down there this week at the Alamo, because I believe this is the anniversary of the Alamo Battle.
Yes.
Thank you. There's very little I learned in junior high school, but we had to take a thing called Texas history. Do they still teach that in school? I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, we learned all about the Alamo. I still hadn't been to the Alamo in the 7th grade. We ultimately went there. And since then, I've been there 1,000 times. But I will tell you that a lot of history there, 150, 175 years, whatever it's been. And are you a San Antonian?
No, I actually moved there about 10 years ago.
You sound like you're from the Midwest.
Actually, I was born just south of Buffalo.
Buffalo, New York.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So one of those New Yorkers.
Yeah, well, not really true New Yorkers.
Okay.
But out in the country.
Out in the country?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And where was this?
South of Buffalo.
But did it have a name or no?
Yeah. Well, it was the little town that I'm from is Scio, S-C-I-O, and it was named after a section of the railroad where they settled at, Section 10.
And very interesting. And when did you move to Texas?
We moved there 10 years ago from West Palm Beach, Florida. I was a firefighter in West Palm
Beach, Florida. Wow. Oh, my God. So you go from, the high of 90 in West Palm Beach to a high of 190 in the summertime.
Yeah.
Well, he came from 190 below.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, there's that.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Full circle.
Exactly.
So you're a part of the board of directors of the Alamo Corvette Club.
Yeah, Alamo Area Corvette Club.
And what kind of Corvette do you have?
I have a 2019 Grand Sport.
Oh, my God. 2019 Grand Sport.
Very
Is
nice.
it blue with the orange stripes on the front fenders?
No, it's silver with the red hash marks.
I know it. I got you.
You know, I kind of like the silver better.
Well,
I
I
see
do
too many
too.
of the blue
Yeah.
ones.
Did you buy it new?
Yes.
You bought it
And
new.
Bought it brand new in Florida because I was looking for that particular color and scheme pattern on it. And then the best part is our tags are personalized, and it's called Catch Us.
Catch it. Good. I like it.
Yep.
Yeah. And how many miles you got on it now?
24,000.
Ooh.
And we're going on a trip to Pikes Peak this summer with our club. There's
The whole club?
there's probably about 20 cars going.
Nice.
Yep.
So how come you're not going on the hot rod tour of Texas with me?
That's what I'm thinking.
Well,
Did you know about that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
you did?
Yes, we talk about it at our meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There will be some guys going.
Oh, good. That's good to know.
We'll be there.
Have you
Good,
done anything
good.
special to your 2019 GS?
No, just added some lights to it, LED lights where the place of the reflectors and some just little things.
Yeah. So you did. It's a modification.
Just
Slight modification.
Slight,
Yeah.
yes.
So I've got a 2001, and I continue to do modifications to it. And lighting was the very first thing.
Yep.
Because it sucked. Can I say that on the radio?
I think you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was just absolutely
legal.
You
it's
can
horrible.
talk for an hour and everything you did to it. So
Yeah, because there's been a lot done to it over the years. Needless to say, it only has 33,000 miles
Wow,
on it.
you don't drive it.
Well, I do drive it. When I bought it 6-7 years ago, it had 16,000 miles on it.
Oh.
So I put some miles on
Some.
it. Yeah, but only on special occasions. I was going to bring it out here today, and I thought, why? There's going to be a bajillion Corvettes here. What is my little Corvette going to do out here? It's not that big of a special deal. So I brought another ride out here because I'm going to be in here. I want to be out and enjoying all of this, the
Right.
camaraderie.
Oh, this is absolutely wonderful.
Now, did you drive in from San Antonio
Yes.
today? You did
Yes.
this morning.
So is this
What
your
time-
first time here?
Yes.
Oh, it
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
Oh, great.
And I really want to thank them for inviting us to come out here because
So you
this
got
is
other
the-
club members here too?
Yeah, we've got about 11 cars that came
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what time did y'all leave San Antonio this morning?
6 o'clock.
6?
Oh, that's not too bad.
No,
Yeah.
not at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
And thank goodness that you made it here to Brookshire on the west side of Houston, so you didn't have to go through town.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the San Antonio pipeline now has become crazy busy. Crazy. Any time of the day, any time of the night for that matter. I-10 is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Used to not be that way. All right. So are y'all spending the night tonight or are you driving back?
No, we're actually going back. It's not that bad of a drive. It's
No,
only
especially when you're on the west side
Yeah.
of Houston.
And in a Corvette.
yeah.
And in the Corvette, yeah.
And when you can cruise at 90, 95.
Easy. No,
Sometimes-
he does 55.
He
people.
said
He does
that.
55.
Yeah.
Where's the police? The police in here?
Sometimes we
You
got
might-
a little bit faster than that even.
You might go to 56.
Yeah. Times two.
Within the law.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. That's what it is, Jeff. Yeah. So we understand that there was quite a line to get in. Did you get in the line to get in?
No, we were actually the first club here.
Oh, you
Oh,
were?
wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you got here before you were supposed to get here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. So you snuck in.
Yeah. But
Kinda-
we still paid though.
Good
Everybody
for you.
pays.
Everybody pays.
Everybody pays. Matter of fact, the story that I have to tell you is a friend of mine came out to the last open house, and he texted me. And of course, when I'm on the air, it's hard for me to read text and stuff like that. Short-term memory and all that. And so he told me, he says, Don, I didn't bring any cash with me, and they wouldn't let me in. I said, yeah, I know. I should have told you. So the guys that are coming out today, I told them ahead of time, $10 a person. $10. Not going to kill you. Go to the ATM before you get here and get you $10 per person. Because John matches that money
Right.
and gives
Yes.
it to the local charities here in the Brookshire area. And so that's why the $10.
And that's exactly what I told my group is $10 per person. Make sure you have cash.
Yes. There's no credit cards. There's none of that. There's probably some shenanigans going on, but I don't want to get into that. There's not any, and none at all, as a matter of fact. But at any rate, well, it's good to have you here. How big is the club?
We got about 250 members.
Holy Toledo! Are you kidding?
No,
It's,
no.
So it's the largest Corvette club in the Alamo City?
No, actually, there's another one that's bigger than us.
Why? How could that be?
I don't know. They haven't come over to us yet.
Are they older than you?
No. That club, it is older. The club is.
Yeah.
But they just do a lot of different things. They're the ones that have the Fiesta car show in Boerne, Texas.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that.
And we're having a car show next month, the 23rd, and we benefit Triple H Equitherapy, where they work with children that have learning disabilities and soldiers that they got PTSD and so on like that. And they
All
ride
good
horses.
causes. Yeah.
Yep. That's our main charity.
Well, it's funny because when I got into the first Corvette club here locally, it was San Jacinto Corvette Club, and we found out pretty quick that a lot of the members of the Corvette Club at that time, this is back in the mid-'70s, they were into racing. I don't have anything against racing. I'm a big racing fan. I got that. But Sharon and Bill and a bunch of other us, we were more into cruise-ins and car shows. And so there was kind of a divide within the club. So we kind of got together and thought, okay, well, look, we're going to cater to our actual car show people. Mm-hmm. So we started a club. And that's what our club was based on, not necessarily on a charity. And so there was a bunch of us that came to our club, and that's what we did. Shows, cruise-ins, that sort of thing.
And that's what we do a lot of.
Yeah.
Ours is we do some, like last night we went to a diner and ate. We do that usually twice a month, and then we do a couple cruises a month.
What would you say is the average age of your members?
Alan, help me.
What are they? Like are they just shy of 100?
No, I'd say they're probably just shy of maybe 70.
Yeah, okay. So we all kind of fit in together with that.
Well, some
because
of us.
there's
not all of us. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know about Tim, but I have hair.
I don't.
You don't?
No.
Grass does not grow on busy streets.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Yep. I will tell you that we have had a great time with Bill Insurance Sites, and you should seek them out. Bill is one of the few that was instrumental in helping John build this facility. And Bill I met back in the Corvette Club days. I'm not a member anymore, but so he and Sharon kind of took me under their wing. Sound familiar? Mm-hmm. And they helped me along.
Good.
And I was talking to John earlier that it's kind of like neon signs. There's a group of people around the United States, and most of them know each other, and they buy and they trade and they sell, and it's that click, if you know what I mean. Yep. And the same thing with the Corvette Club.
Exactly.
And you get to know people, and you know this person, and you go to this place, and so you're coming here to Houston. Did you know anybody from Houston?
Nope.
Well, guess what? Now you do.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of a thing.
Right.
So if you were to meet us up down at the Hot Rod Tour of Texas, which we're going to go on in the later part of April, we would know each other, and then you would have friends and introduce them to me, and so that circle keeps getting wider and wider all the time. You find that the case with your Alamo Club?
Yeah, we're growing quite fast, but we have noticed that there are a lot of younger people getting in.
Really?
Wow, that's unusual.
Now, what do you think is younger? 50?
Yeah.
Is that younger? Well, it is younger.
Yeah, actually, we got some that are younger than that, but most of them are 50, 60-ish.
See, when I got into this in '77, I ordered mine from the factory. Had no clue what I was doing, but I wanted a Corvette.
Uh-huh.
And so I ordered the thing from the factory. Of course, '77, it has absolutely no horsepower. So I got the bumped up L82 model with the 4-speed and all the goodies that went along with it. And that's what I got in the Corvette Club. And so at that time, I was in my 30s. Okay? So you probably got a couple of those guys in your club, my guess is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that's when the fever starts. And then usually it lasts, for me, it's lasts a lifetime.
So there are clubs, Corvette Club, we use that as an example. an individual doesn't necessarily have a Corvette, but they want to join a club because they want to do the networking and the research and maybe buy one. And hey, what's the best option for me? So, do you have folks like that join?
Yes, we do. We have some that are what we call enthusiasts.
Sure.
And they will join the club, and then they'll talk to members and see.
And to be part of things like this.
Yeah.
And they're currently driving Chevy Chevettes.
Or Yugos.
I had a Chevy Chevette. That's no lie.
I had a Chevy Vega.
My brother had
Hello. And I had a Chevy Monza. Ooh.
I had a Monza Spider.
I went from a Corvette to a Chevette when I got married.
Well,
and you can ask her.
Oh, my God.
So you downgraded the car, but you upgraded the wife.
Yeah.
There you go.
All I can think of is he did that to hook you
For you.
with the Corvette.
There you go.
And then he got something they could really afford, right?
You want to get married, I got to sell the vet.
Yeah.
How long have you all been married now?
46 years.
46.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Well, the longest I ever made it was 25.
It'll be 45 for this year for me.
And it won't be
Wow.
another 25.
You're getting there.
That.
Yeah. But see, I'm only 30. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
She robbed the cradle,
there
right?
you go.
Oh, my gosh. And look who just
Speaking of,
strolled
we're
in.
talking about him, too.
Yeah,
They
we're
walked
talking
in.
about it. It's perfect timing. So was there a long line to get in out there? Huh? Yeah, there was. Yeah. Well, that's good. Did you see Tommy Noto yet? Have you seen Tommy? No, you just got here, didn't you? They're on. Are they on the way? I don't know. Anyway, so we have some other friends coming in, and well, it's great to meet you. And you didn't know you were going to be on radio and television when you took this trip, did you?
Not until John come up and asked me if I would do it.
Yeah, and you said,
Yeah. Yep.
you just bit the. Have you ever done this before?
No.
What is your line of work when you were working? I guess are you still working?
No. I've retired
From
12 years ago.
From what?
From West Palm Beach Fire Rescue.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
he said, yeah.
Fireman.
Because he came from Buffalo down to West Palm Beach and then here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a
Gotcha.
map right here.
I'm glad that you can remember it. I lost those brain cells a long time ago, so that doesn't work for me anymore. Well, it's great to meet you, and I see that the wives are out here supporting you.
Absolutely.
And so thank you very much for stopping by and talking to us. Tell everybody back in San Antonio we said hi. We'll try to make it out there before it gets to be 115 degrees this summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a promise.
All right. Yeah, it is. It is a
We're
promise.
actually going to be going through San Antonio on our way to
We're
with
going
the hot rod tour.
skirting
Skirting around.
Yeah, skirting around. So you're more than welcome to come out and wave.
Okay. We'll do that.
What other kind of hand signals you can give us as we pass by?
No, we won't do that. We'll just wait.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you again.
Thank you, and it was a great
Have a good
pleasure
day.
being
You
here.
bet.
Yeah.
Thanks for
you
coming.
bet. Enjoy everybody that's here today. It's supposed to be 500 people here today. Did
Yeah,
you know
200 plus Corvettes.
that? Yeah, exactly. All right. We've got a special, we've got a special segment coming up after a quick break, and that is going to be Jeff's Wheels on TV.
Yeah, I've got a new show coming up, or there is a new show coming up. It's already out, but I'll talk about that when the time comes.
All right, very good. You're on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thanks for riding with us today. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We're back after this.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Let's see. Let's do Jeff's Wheels on TV.
Okay.
We got wheels.
We got wheels on
Mars,
TV.
why are you leaning over my shoulder?
Well, he's looking
like
at the
this?
video screen so he can get his camera adjusted because he's on a mission. So my mission right now is that you've got your typical stuff on Motor Trend TV. You got the streaming episodes, which is the normal Texas Metal, Faster with Finnegan, Roadkill, and Faster Cars in the Dirty South. Those are all this past week. They're coming up next week as well. Check it out. There's other shows. But Last Chance Garage is premiered last Wednesday, March 20th. It is a Motor Trend TV show. It's the series featuring Tony D'Antonio. He's the gentleman that left Hot Rod Garage after 9 seasons.
Oh, yeah.
And then he started his own show because he went back to Joyzy. In the show, Tony leads a team of incredibly skilled mechanics who undo the mistakes of other garages. So if you got a vehicle that you haven't customized and you have problems with it, either didn't get it done, whatever the case, they research that, they get into it, and they explain what happened, how it could happen, and they fix it. So that's actually debuted last week. You can find it on Motor Trend TV and all of the subscriptions, the Amazons, the Fires, the Rokus, and things of that. So it's I didn't check it out because I missed it, but I did read reviews on it, and it's pretty good because he's a good technician. He's a good guy.
Well, I got a new one that I've been watching
What's
from
that?
Bernie, Texas. Bernie, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's up there kind of close to Iron Resurrection, those guys, the Martin Brothers.
Yeah.
So these guys are called the Holden Brothers.
I saw that. I did see that.
And it is a great show. So they take a car that some run, some of them don't run, and they fix it up. And the goal is to fix it up in some way that it's less than $25,000, including the purchase price
of the vehicle.
And so there's only one season that they recorded last year, and it's really good. It's entertaining. Leslie loves it. I like it. It's very easy to follow along.
Gotcha.
And to see what they're doing.
There's none of the shenanigans where they're throwing fireworks and firecrackers.
No, there's none of that. Why is he holding that up next to my ear? It's an antenna.
He likes you.
He's holding this antenna up next to my ear, and it's like, is there some sort of alien invasion going on? Or is it those seeds that were planted in my brain a few years ago that he's trying to activate?
This one, Mike.
Okay. So, at any rate.
But, check them out.
That's a good one.
I think it's a good show.
And, with my Roku subscription, there is Motor Trend TV on Roku.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't have to pay for it over and above the $16 a month that I'm paying for Roku. Listen, there's so much on Roku. I should be a salesperson for them.
You should, yeah. We just promoted it now in 51 countries.
And I poo-pooed Xfinity TV quite a while ago. Mm-hmm. Best move I ever made.
Yeah.
And now the Xfinity cable that I've had that I use for the broadcast and internet stuff, they're out the door too, because they raised my rates from $80 a month to $120 a month without notifying me. All of a sudden,
the
bill.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm done with this, and so I've switched over to Kinetic, which is out in our neighborhood. It's fiber, so I'm doing that. So
there's probably 20 more out in the neighborhood.
Don't try screwing me over anymore.
No,
because I will jump ship like a hot potato.
Yep. So, anyways, this show is 10 episodes. Check it out.
Oh, did you have to throw that in there?
Yeah.
Kind of ruined my flow, but that's all right. All right. So I got headlines.
All right.
And it's an interesting, eclectic collection of news stories from Automotive News. Volkswagen recalling more than 261 vehicles in the U.S. due to issues with a suction jet pump seal inside the fuel tank, whatever that is. The recall includes certain front-wheel drive 2015 to 2020 Audi A3 sedans, 19 to 20 Volkswagen Jetta GLIs, and 18 Golf sport wagons, among others. Dealers will replace the suction pump on the affected vehicles free of charge. Well, they better. Speaking of electric vehicle owners and those who would consider an EV want the amenities of gas stations applied to their public charging experience, Jeff. That according to a study developed last fall by Auto Pacific. Auto Pacific surveyed more than 7,200 EV owners and acceptors, individuals who would consider or intend to purchase an EVs as their next vehicle, about attributes for an ideal public charging experience. EV owners and acceptors said they wanted public charging stations to have signs for charging speed and price that are easy to see and read, a well-lit and covered charging location, Wi-Fi access, and basic vehicle care services such as windshield cleaner, air pumps for filling tires, and vacuums.
Well,
among both owners and acceptors, more than 86% said clear signs and covered, well-lit chargers are important to them.
But if you got an EV, you know how much you use and you know how much time it's going to take to replenish that.
No, that's not the story.
Well,
how much do they charge per kilowatt hour?
Well, that's true too. So
and that's the killer.
If it's 20 minutes to charge up your car, you know per kilowatt hour per minute.
I think everybody should go out and buy an EV.
I think
and
so
get
too.
hammered on by
and then sell us your ICE engine cars.
Time car talk
yes.
show.
Yep.
J.D. Power's parent company is exploring a potential sale of the consumer data analytics company that is instrumental in evaluating consumer behavior for the automotive industry. The potential $8 billion price tag for the iconic industry research firm underscores the growing value of sophisticated business data in the auto segment as well as Wall Street. Thoma Bravo, the private equity firm that owns J.D. Power, is working with a financial advisor to evaluate interest in selling the company, Bloomberg reported on Tuesday. You see, J.D. Power does more than the stuff that we do on the air here. They release dozens of independently funded automotive studies each year that are widely regarded as some of the most dependable among automakers to help analyze consumer behavior. The studies, which include the annual dependability survey, the initial quality survey, and the automotive performance execution and layout study, survey customers on satisfaction. The studies then purchased by automakers to better tailor their products toward target consumers.
Yeah.
So it's more than just, haphazard random surveys that we tell you. It's not that. Look at how fast Mars moves the camera around so fast you can barely even keep up.
Slow it down, Michael.
Hey, Mars.
Slow it down.
You in a hurry to get through all of that?
Easy, Tiger.
Hi. Are you in a hurry to go through the crowd? Run.
Run
through
Forrest.
The crowd, Forrest. I got it. Well, apparently Ram isn't just thinking about besting the comfort of rival pickups with the 1500's new tungsten trim level.
Ooh.
Its latest expression of luxury in the pickup space. The Stellantis brand wants to answer a question with the elegant tungsten. Can a pickup really be more comfortable than an upscale European sedan? That'll be up to customers of the nearly $90,000 vehicle to answer, but the brand believes it's in that conversation.
Mike reviewed that last week. Was it the tungsten he reviewed?
I don't know as if it was the tungsten because it was just debuted this
premier
week.
vehicle.
Something, yeah, there's no doubt. The vehicle, which starts at $89,150 with shipping, provides amenities such as 24-way adjustable massaging seats, natural leather as opposed to fake leather, a 23-speaker sound system, and Level 2 Plus automated driving capability, no thanks, that allows for hands-off driving at all speeds and lane centering on approved roadways. Drives me insane. The power is there as well with a high-output version of the 3-liter Hurricane Inline 6 twin turbocharged engine, the standard offering. The high-output version generates 540 horsepower, 521 pound-feet of torque, besting the HEMI V8 that was dropped from the 1500 lineup for the 2025 model year.
How many Newton meters is that?
I haven't done that research.
Can you calculate that for next week?
Thank goodness for Google is all I can say for that, because I don't know how to. I don't know. Katie would probably know, but I don't.
She's probably already figured out in her head if she's listening.
Yeah, exactly. Well, she's not. She's in Cancun.
Ah, that's right.
So there's that. But yeah. So apparently this is the cat's meow, so to speak. All right.
She can pick us up there in Cancun, right?
She can pick us up in the truck in Cancun.
That's correct.
Yeah. All right. So it's time now for. I know it's time now for another break. Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com, and podcasts from your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
From Hovis's HEMI Hideout in Brookshire, Texas.
Yeah, baby.
This is the award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we got a very special guest who's going to give us a little overview of the HEMI Hideout right here on live radio and television. You'll hear my thoughts on driving the new 2024 Hyundai Kona, and Mars has this week's events calendar. Just ahead on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, who's out videotaping or doing something
should
great.
come back.
Wait a
Come
minute,
back.
I think he may be in the men's room.
Mike, come back.
That's okay. We need more Jeff Zekin, our chief engineer and bottle washer, David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us today. And thank you for joining us out here at the HEMI Hideout. You met John Hovis an hour ago on the show before everybody arrived. And right now we've asked John to give us kind of all of the people that are here, of which some 500 people are here today.
Yes.
And so we're going to have all of these people hear John give you an explanation in his own words about the HEMI Hideout. Okay, John, it's all
Don't
yours,
forget,
sir.
we're in 51
Don.
countries.
Pardon me?
We're in 51 countries.
With 51 countries around the world. Shut up.
51 countries.
51
okay.
countries. There you go.
Okay, I want to welcome everybody here today to the HEMI Hideout. For those of you, how many have not been here before? Can you raise your hands? Wow, a whole bunch of them. Okay, this is a man cave that got out of control. So we started this project about 11 years ago. We didn't have one single piece of these signs, and me and about 30 of our friends, including these guys here, have helped put this together, make it what it is today. So we love having the groups come out and share what we've done. There's a story on all this stuff. If you ever want to come back and do a tour and find out specifically about all the things, there's a story about it, everything in here. It's not just the beauty that you walk in, it's sensory overload, and you're like, my God, what in the world happened in here? But there's some cool stories, a lot of Americana and history in here, and it's so much fun to put it together. So today, we're glad to have all the Corvettes.
Oh, yeah.
We normally don't allow Chevrolets in here. No, just kidding. We love all the cars. And just so you guys know, Don Armstrong is the voice on Sky I-13 here in Houston. And he's having a helicopter come out to video all this. So you might want to take a look tonight when you go home. That'll be something fun to do. But anyway, About 10 years ago or 11 years ago, we built HEMI Hideout, and we didn't have a single piece that's in here. We've collected all this stuff like we're madmen on steroids. So, again, about 30 friends that help find this stuff, crate it up, ship it, get it here, uncrate it, fix what's broken. The restorations have been done. I don't know where Bill Prokopic is, but by the way, we've got a restoration shop behind the building, and you can take our golf carts back there to go see what's being restored. And Bill is doing some amazing things and can bring something that's totally trashed out and bring it back to life. So it's amazing, the crafts and the skills and all the sweat, blood, sweat, and tears that went into this. It screams a labor of love, and it certainly was that. Again, thank you guys for Tony Alonji. I don't know where you're at, but Tony, in a minute, remember, you got to come on a radio show. But thank you for putting this group together. It's amazing to see $20 million worth of Corvettes sitting out there in one spot. That's unbelievable. But certainly one of the coolest cars ever developed. I'm a big fan of Corvette, and I've had several of them, and I think it's the best money you can spend for technology. I don't know how you top it. So anyway, I don't want to tie this up too much.
No, John, as a matter of fact, because we're doing two different, I'm doing the broadcast and he's doing the public address in here, but I didn't want to everybody that doesn't know about the structure itself, that in itself is a story, and I think that everybody would really like to hear about that.
Okay, this is the tallest timber frame or the largest timber frame building in Texas, not by our design, it just ended up that way. But it's all Douglas fir. All the timbers are Douglas fir. The decking is cypress. All the timbers are assembled with the oak dowels. You'll see well, you can't see them down here. But anyway, the pins that are in the posts there, all assembled with oak dowels. There's no screws, bolts, or glue. And it made the most beautiful palette to paint a picture with all these signs. So we run around the country. You've seen the show American Pickers. We're the real ones, and those guys are the fake guys. Anyway, but just fun to put it all together. What a ride we've all been on. Thank you all for coming out. What else we need to talk about?
Well, first of all, it's named the HEMI Hideout because of John's love for the HEMI when he was back in high school, and he's made a beautiful collection of HEMIs. Yeah. We'd love to hear about that.
Okay, right. I need him to lead this. He's good at taking the lead here. I had a Dodge Super Bee when I was 18. I had hair down to here. Rolling Stones on, really? Wide open. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot has changed since now and then. But anyway, I thought I was swinging the world by the tail of that Super Bee. But that's why I love the Dodge and Plymouth. But it's like the Corvettes or I think we have a Viper Club here. Or whatever you're driving, it's in your soul, whether you're Ford, Chevy, Pontiac, whatever. And the music we all listened to when we were kids, the good old days, and you don't realize what's the good old days till we start raising kids and career building, and you look back and, oh, my God, the good old days went right through my fingers, didn't even know it. So that's kind of what we're trying to capture here.
And the other thing is, too, John, that I want to point out is that John has some very unique, special, and some very, very expensive HEMIs here, including the actual. Do you have the the Superbird down there?
The Superbird's a 446 pack.
Yeah, that's the one that has the wing on the back of it. That was really took NASCAR by a storm, and after 1 year was outlawed and that sort of stuff. And John's got one of them down there. So be sure and look at the car collection while you're here. And I have to tell you all, my favorite. Hey, I'm a Corvette guy, but my favorite is the black Duster that's up here because it's got a bench seat, a 4-speed, it's got a HEMI in it, black on black, sweet as can be.
Does it say for sale?
It's a 340, actually.
It doesn't say for sale, but it says a 340, whatever the case may be.
Well, my wife says everything in here is for sale, so.
Yeah, I'm sure that she does. So there's also a very interesting sign that John has, and it actually predates neon. You want to tell them about the Texaco sign?
Yes, the Texaco sign would be kind of up into the middle over there. Anyway, it's the first version of an illuminated sign for Texaco. Is there somebody over there that can turn that on? Yeah, she's fixing to turn it on down there. Anyway, that's the first version of an illuminated sign for Texaco in 1918. There were only 2 blocks of New York City had electricity in 1918. So if you bought that sign, you had to buy a generator, and then you could illuminate your entire service station. And if you're old enough to remember the Milton Berle show on Sundays, The Man That Wears a Star was a sponsor for the Milton Berle Show. They were in front of everybody's face, but that is a cool sign right there. The only one that survived from 1918. So really a special sign.
Now, to tell you how weird I am, when John first started the neon collection, I came in here and I said, John, you've got a sign down there, a Dodge sign that's in a box.
Yes.
Tell them that story.
That's a 1938. It's down on the end. It's got pink letters. It's blue with pink letters. But that's a 1938 Dodge sign. We found it in a crate in Franklin, Tennessee, and in a building that was about to fall down. But never was installed. Still in the original crate right now. We just saw the slats out, plugged it in, and it fired up. So you still find things, new original stock in the crate, even today.
And I don't know whether anybody here is a fan of the HEMI Hideout on Facebook, but there were a lot of postings about one of John's latest signs, and that's the Bulldog down at the end.
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad you're here to.
You're welcome. That's what I was thinking of too.
Okay, the Bulldog on the very end down there. That's a really cool sign. That we believe, we can't substantiate. People say it came off the Allentown, Pennsylvania manufacturing plant, but that's a Mack truck Bulldog, 13 and a half feet wide, 11 and a half feet tall, and we brought the skin or the face of it, the porcelain sign, and then Bill Prokopic, our restoration expert, built a can, put all the electronics, and we put all the neon on. But a really cool sign if you're collecting signs.
Now, and the real marquee, if you will, with all the signs and the HEMI Hideout is the sign that's behind us, and I think that that's a fascinating story, and John has that.
Okay, so this came off of Rustler Chevrolet. That's Rusty the Rustler, and of course they used Porky the Pig. You had to pay Looney Tunes, I think, a fee to use that figure, but that was in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and if you lived anywhere in a 5-state area of Cape Girardeau, you recognize that sign if you were there in the 1960s. So we added the gunshot blast to animate it, and just a cool sign. It was a double-sided sign, and it was split out. A lot of people split these signs and then sell them as two signs. So if you can find one intact, like this one or that one, the double-sided ones, those are, for me, the way to collect.
Where's the other half of this one?
In Georgia somewhere.
Oh, it is. Mm-hmm. So you do know, does it work like this one? No.
I don't know if it does, but I don't know how you top it.
Yeah, well, and not only, how do you bring it back together? It probably never will be.
That would be cool to do it, but then who has the space to display a double-sided that?
Just need a bigger building.
Yeah, we add on.
Yeah. Add on, that's exactly right. And before we go and wrap this up, I did want to mention my dear friend and friends, actually, Bill and Sharon Seitz. And Bill had a huge part in all of this here and helping John build the building. But you'll notice Bill's artwork, and I didn't know this about Bill when I met him at the Corvette Club, but eventually did. And no, he is the guy that does all of the artwork that you see in here, the animated artwork that you see. And I think that it's important to point it out. Truly talented guy. He's here today. Do we see you out there, Bill?
He was over there earlier. I saw him.
Okay. Wave your hand if you can see us. No, we don't care. But at any rate, also he did the actual tile that's right in the underneath the cupola out there in the middle. So Bill designed that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's hand painted, isn't it? All those tiles are hand painted?
No, Bill did the artwork. We had a lady transpose somehow in San Antonio and fired the tiles and put it together.
And I don't want to speak out of school and have people wandering around in places that they're not supposed to, but I think that you'd be okay with folks walking out in the back and seeing the back patio and the bar area out there with the saddle seats.
Yeah, they're starting to fall apart, but anyway.
Well, we won't talk about that.
Cool. It's rodeo season.
It is rodeo time. But, if I were to tell anybody, and I know that I have some friends of mine, a pilot, James Fox, and his girlfriend are here today who's never been here before, and that would be to explore all the nooks and crannies. John has done a marvelous job in collecting things that he likes. BSA motorcycles, who remembers those? Or how about the tractor collection that's over here? There's certain areas, or the Tyrannosaurus Rex, or whatever the thing is back there. And the latest thing is fossilized monkeys.
Oh, who doesn't like that?
You're a weird guy, dude. That's all I can say.
There.
Yeah, let's not go there.
They're great with hollandaise
But at
sauce.
any rate, so thank you, John, for having us all here. I think that John deserves a great round of applause. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming out today. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I need everybody to wave their hand. I'm going to take a picture.
Everybody wave for John. Yeah, we're going to take a big picture. There you go.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you all. And, hey, and be sure if you join us on inwheeltime.com, Facebook.
Subscribe.
We do video and podcasts and all that stuff. We'd appreciate your help.
And if you've got other events, let us know.
Yeah.
And we'll post them and talk about them and get you on the air.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Thank you all again for coming. Okay. Let us do a break.
Yes.
And then we're going to do commercials. And then we're going to get Mars back up here to do the events calendar, okay? Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
The In-Wheel Time Car Talk show available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Did I already do that?
Oh, you can do it again.
Okay.
It never hurts.
Yeah, we also
Keep
video
going.
stream 3-hour weekly show. Usually is on from 8 until 11. Today we're pausing the show start so we could be here for today's big.
And what an event it is.
Yeah, it is. It's truly. I've never seen so many people in here. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com, and podcasts available from your favorite podcast provider. All right. Time now for our next guest. He's going to be on at the bottom of the hour. So let's do the events calendar. Can we do that, Mr. Mars? Can we do the events calendar? You're not busy enough.
Well, no, he's got to do 5 more things.
No, yeah,
he's all right.
He's
got it all coordinated.
By the way, Mars,
Yes.
there's a mop over here, and we need.
I was going to get that on the way out
we need
next
a
time.
cleanup. We need a cleanup on aisle 7. If you could fix your microphone, please.
There's a bunch of Corvettes outside. I'm trying to get situated.
Everybody.
You go do your
Everybody. Events. We got events coming up. A couple of events real quick. These are some different stuff. H-Town Throwdown Car Audio Show. If you've never been to an audio show, that's exactly what it is. A lot of booming, a lot of noise. But this is an IASCA sanctioned event with a lot of classes going on. Sunday, April the 14th, 2 to 7 p.m., 14901 State Highway 249 in Houston, Texas.
All right.
If you've never been to one, it's different, definitely different. And then coming up, the Houston Art Car Experience 2024, Thursday, April the 11th through Sunday, April the 14th. And this includes the Houston Art Car Parade. So this experience covers a lot of different things, including the parade where they're expecting 200,000 spectators to come and see that parade.
When is this?
April 11 through April 14. is the whole experience. Several days worth of stuff going on with the art
Like a
car
Thursday
parade.
through Sunday or something.
Keels and Wheels, May the 4th. Saturday, May the 4th, and Sunday, May the 5th.
Did you lose your place?
Yeah, I did. And I was going, what does that say that? Anyway, this is at the Lakewood Yacht Club, and it's the annual car and boat show, Keels and Wheels Concours d'Elegance. The boats are in the water.
Yeah.
That's what's really unique about this. So you got boats in the water, classic wooden boats, and you got classic cars. This year, Resto Mods are going to be featured.
Do you think I could bring my fishing gear and maybe sit in the back?
Well, I think
of them,
there's
or-
a couple of them that's got fishing seats on them and stuff. You might could sit on the back of some
I
of
like
the
to
yachts.
stand when
And
I
by
fish.
the way, I've had to look it up. How you really pronounce Concours d'Elegance is the way it's pronounced.
Concours d'Elegance?
Concours although it looks like Concours
Yeah?
d'Elegance. No, it's not. That's maybe the hillbilly way of pronouncing, but it's
Come on over to East Texas and we'll talk about
all
it.
right, fine.
And then we're going to make the Hot Rod Tour of Texas 2024.
That's exciting.
April the 25th through 28th. And the kickoff party is in Victoria on that Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Friday morning, head off for 3 days of cruising through Texas. And In Wheel Time is going to be there.
Yep.
And then we also are going to be at the Lone Star Street Rod Association.
Yes. Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run, June the 12th, Granbury, Texas.
Yeah, make plans to attend. All right, time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2024 Hyundai Kona. Comes in the SE, the SEL, the N line, and the Limited. I had the Limited all-wheel drive. This is considered a small SUV. I would consider it an extra small SUV. 5 passengers, including the driver. All new second-generation Kona, this particular model. Now, it has been restyled. Polarizing styling with big black plastic wheel openings. Now, on certain trim levels, like the inline, those big plastic wheel opening moldings, if you want to call them, that's more than that. It's body panels. They're painted, which kind of tones it all down a little bit, and that would be my style. I just am not a big fan of unpainted black plastic. Front light mounting is outboard, and it is in those moldings that I just told you about. It does have a different grille and lighting on the front of the hood. It's got this line across it, and people said, oh, that must be some sort of an electric vehicle. No, it's not. The lighting is in the hood. Now, I will tell you this, that they do have an EV model. We're not talking about that. This is a gasoline model engine. The rear has bulbous fenders, where also the lighting is placed in those fenders. What I liked about it, the different design stands out on a crowd. If that's what you're in for, hey, I got it, you get it, you're there. What could use improvement? Odd placement of lighting takes some getting used to. This is not a car that I think is an everyday person car. You have to really like this thing. On the inside, driver instruments and infotainment screen combine for an attractive dash. The N-line trim adds some attractive red accents throughout the cabin. Large open catch-all in the center console is handy. Seating is comfortable. Cargo trunk room, being a small vehicle, back there in the back is very small. What I liked about it, the overall layout in the interior is good with cubbies everywhere. What could use improvement? I don't know. At this price point, and you'll hear that in just a second, I think that it kind of fits in the price point if you want to stand out in the crowd again. Mine had the optional 1.6-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine that has 190 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. If you're going to get one of these things, that's what I would suggest. Anything under 200, it's kind of pushing the limit no matter what the size. Transmission is an 8-speed automatic. Gets 24 miles per gallon city, 29 on the highway for a combined of 26. I got 28.9 miles per gallon over 472 miles. What I liked about it, I think that the engine is perfectly matched to the car. This is not a hot rod by any stretch of the imagination. What could use improvement? They do offer an EV version, as I mentioned, so you might want to look at that if you're into weird-looking EVs. Ride and handling, nicer than you would expect with such a short wheelbase. This is not a track car, but a commuter small kid hauler. Base trim price, $33,150. Price is tested, $34,695. But you can get in one of these. The base model price is $24,250. Competitors, the Buick Encore GX for $25,600. The Chevy Trax for $20,400, which is my choice among these four. And the Mazda CX-30 for $24,995. Go check all of those out, and then go look at the Hyundai Kona for 2024, and you tell me what you think. And you can do that by emailing me at don@nwheeltime.com. And that's my review of the 2024 Hyundai Kona.
Nice.
Do you have a headset on with a microphone?
I do.
So Mars isn't with us. I know, but we'll be back. We're going to save him for the bottom of the hour.
All right.
So let's do Hemmings Sold Cars Roundup.
Woohoo.
Okay? These are used cars that are being sold online through Hemmings.com. Sold Cars Roundup. Just stay right here. You ready?
Got a scorecard. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
This is for you, Jeff.
All right.
The 1965 Cadillac Sedan DeVille. This is probably
Four-door?
as big as the 21,000 square foot HEMI Hideout. What do you think that car sold for? 65 Cadillac Sedan DeVille.
With no other information, I'm thinking 17.
17. What do you think, David?
$10,000.
10 grand. Well, it sold for $14,700. If you could fit it in the garage, now granted, you'd have to knock out the bathroom behind the garage to get the front bumper in there, but you could do that. All right. An 82 Toyota FJ40. Now, this is kind of like their version of a Jeep Wrangler, if you will.
82.
Yeah, 82 model. And, these are popular because of their scarcity.
Can you give me any? Does it look good?
Four-wheel drive.
Yeah, it looks good. There you go, right there. Can you see it? It's that beige-looking thing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Upper left-hand corner.
4x4.
It's a 4x4, yeah.
V8?
Probably not.
He's going to throw you a curve.
Probably has a straight six in it. It's an 82 model. What do you think?
$8,900.
Wow, that's high. What do you think?
Ooh, see, he's throwing you a curve.
$5,500.
How about $26,775?
Wow.
Here's one that John Hovis would like. A 1951 Dodge Power Wagon. I don't know what year the one that he has back there in the back, the green one that's all been restored.
And what year?
But that particular one is a 1951 that's on for sale here.
51.
Yeah. So how much do you think that went for? Don't leave. Tommy, Noto, and CJ are here. We're glad you're feeling better, and thank you very much for coming. Don't leave without me. So,
23.
23. What do you think?
27.
46.2.
I was closer.
Yeah. How about a 1993 Ford Bronco? Ford Bronco.
93 Ford Bronco.
Uh-huh. Anything.
93 Ford
a 93
Bronco.
Ford Bronco. Kind of one of those
12 grand.
OJ.
12,000.
I'm thinking, I'm going to go 11.
17,640.
Oh.
It looks brand new, actually.
Nice.
I don't know all the details of it. This is a game that we play, and I like playing it. Yeah, I had one of these, a 1993 Chevy Camaro. Looks pretty good. It does not look like it's a Z28. Okay, a 93 Chevy Camaro. My daughter ragged hers out. It was my hand-me-down.
I had a 92 RS.
Yeah. A 93 Chevy Camaro.
$5,000.
$5,000. You?
$6,500.
$8,500. It's clean. Okay. Nice. Here's one for you. 1966 Ford Mustang convertible. Remember, the Mustang came out in '64, so this is same body style. '66. What do you think it sold for?
$14,000.
14. What do you think, Jeff?
I'll go 12.
Okay. Well, it sold for $14,700.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's a pretty good deal, actually. Well, it depends, because we don't know what it looks like underneath.
I was impressed with my guess.
Yeah.
I was too.
Yeah.
Very
well,
good.
We're impressed with anything that you do, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to remind everybody that you can get in touch with us. Just shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. We'll be back right after this quick break.
The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invite you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
This is your favorite go-to spot and car podcasting and live streaming. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show today, coming to you from the fabulous HEMI Hideout in Brookshire, Texas. Just ahead, more guests from today's gathering of car folks. Plus, we'll also have Mr. Mars and the event calendar. We'll get you caught up on the stories making auto headlines this week, too. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, who cannot sit down. And we always need more Jeff Zekin. Our chief engineer, David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today from the HEMI. Joining us today down at the guest hotspot would be A.J. Loop. He's the president of the Space City Corvette Club, and since this is really kind of a Corvette takeover, we thought it would be appropriate that we talk to another Corvette club, don't you think?
I agree.
Yeah. Move that microphone a little bit closer to your mouth, sir. Thank you very much. And,
how's that?
You know, I think that the last time I saw you was a car show. Was it in the fall down in Friendswood?
Yes, sir, and you finally made good on your promise on coming out, and it meant the world just to see you out there.
Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you. How I remembered that, I don't know, but I remembered your face.
Right. Well, that's probably a good and a bad thing.
Well, so what was the name of that event?
That was the 11th annual Good Grubbing Gears Fall Car Show, and we ended up raising $100,000 for Texas EquiSearch that last year.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, yes,
Mars is like that bad classmate that you had that passes you notes and you get caught. Yeah, well, that's it. So there's that. Okay. Very good. Tony, we're going to get to you. Are you go by the nickname of Big Tuna? Okay. All right, so Tony, we're going to get to Tony in just a minute. But right now we're going to talk to AJ, president of Space City Corvette Club. And I have to tell you, I think when I spoke to you down there at that cruise-in, well, it was a car show in the park, which I thought was an absolutely fabulous setting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, that is really a cool setting. And the collection of cars that showed up for that thing, that's something. How long has that thing been going on down there?
So this year will be our 12th annual. That's kind of hard.
Where the hell have I been?
I don't know, but you kept promising me for years that you were going to come out. You
finally
made good on your promise. Yep, you finally made good on your promise, and we appreciate that.
Well, and again, I was impressed. As a matter of fact, I came back, talked about it on the show here, how impressed I was, and I think that this year I'm going to try and bring my Corvette down there. Now, this is not a show car.
Right.
This is a street running car. Looks okay. It's passable. You won't be embarrassed, but, well, I may be. But
we
you
could
won't.
put you in a daily driver class. How about that?
It's not a daily driver. I will give you
No,
that.
definitely not.
But it's driven.
There you go.
Yeah. Just had some North Corbo seats put in it.
Okay.
Yeah. From Pro-Am Auto Accessories. So we got
You got
that.
a Hurst shifter.
Yeah.
You got new wheels. You got new tires.
Yeah. So I've been, slowly but surely trying to it's trying to keep up with the failing electronics.
Right.
The last thing is the tilt, not the tilt, but the telescoping steering.
Right.
The telescoping has failed. I am not digging into the airbag to get the steering wheel off. That ain't happening.
No, I wouldn't want to do that either.
Yeah. So I know that you're going to find me somebody that is really attuned to that.
We can take care of that, I'm sure.
I'm sure you can. So at any rate, let's talk about Space City Corvette Club. How long has that been going on?
Since it was established in 2007, and right now we have 263 members.
That 250 seems to be a good number.
It's like the sweet spot.
Yeah, because the Alamo. Have you met the Alamo guy that came in? They were here a little bit ago.
He's around here.
He's around here somewhere. But anyway, the Alamo guys are here. They got about 250. It seems to be a good number for a club. And having been a member of a couple of clubs in my day, I will tell you that 250 is probably manageable, but it's right on the cusp of not being manageable.
Chaos.
Yeah, because, as you know, being the president of the car club, it's like wrangling cats.
Like herding cats.
Yeah.
It's a lot like work, but it's also a lot of fun.
Oh, I know. Because you all have that one common thing going on, and that's cars, and particularly the Corvettes. But there are lots of car clubs around, and I'm sure, as you have put on a car show down there that everybody's invited, you work with lots of car clubs.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Sure do.
And I understand that you helped wrangle not all, but a lot of the people here.
Well, so this gentleman that's sitting to the left of me, Big Tuna, who's
Big
be coming
Tuna.
on here in a
like
few
it.
minutes. About 7 years ago, we put together all the Corvettes coming out, and we had a pretty decent showing. But in 2022, we had 115 Corvettes out here, and today we had 170. So it continues to grow.
Wow.
And I think there's some Vipers out there that I think there's about 18 Vipers or so.
The Corvette wannabes?
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I better be careful. I'm
You're
going to make it out of the parking
You're
lot.
going to have to walk him to his car this evening.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll never forget. I drive press cars all the time. Well, when the Viper came out, they said, we're sending you a Viper. Great. I get in this thing, and it is a wild beast that has no traction control. I mean, and they put a fiberglass body on it, but they might as well just had a frame and this ginormous 10-cylinder motor in it that had 2,000 horsepower. And it was a 6-speed, had to have been a 6-speed transmission. That thing was all over the road. I mean, it was like trying to drive a funny car.
Right.
It's crazy. But I can certainly understand the attraction. I would imagine that if I were a little bit younger man, I'd have probably had that thing on its top in a ditch somewhere in a New York minute.
Well,
but I had to control myself.
Didn't that happen in your press fleet? Somebody
Oh,
had
yes,
a boo-boo?
yes, I know that person, and he's still alive, and he has that to brag about. He spun it out into an open ditch, put it on its lid. They took it back to Detroit and crushed the car.
The rest of the way.
Yeah, the rest of the way. That's right. So, does everybody have 2018 and 2022 and 2024 Corvettes?
The C8 obviously is becoming very popular. Just acquired one in January.
So you're one of those.
Yep, I'm one of those. Had to sell a few to make room for it, but I got to tell you, Chevy nailed it on that C8.
Yeah, I know.
They really did.
Yeah, I'm jealous, actually.
Well, how many do you have now?
So I had to sell 3, so I'm down to the 2024, the 96, and a 72.
What is the oldest year in your club?
It's a 1953 production number 32.
Wow.
It's been on American Sports Car Magazine. The previous owner was the owner of the San Diego Padres. It's been signed by Zora Arcus Duntoff under the hood. Last year at Tri-City, it won Best of Paint by Ryan Evans of Counts Customs. And if I remember right, I think you guys were out there in Beaumont, if I remember correctly. Maybe not. But it was quite an honor.
You're asking me to remember
I know.
something.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, forget that.
Yeah, forgive me.
It's all right.
Well, that's cool.
It's interesting. I saw Corvette number 3, and I've only seen it once, and it was at the Corvette Expo at the George R. Brown. No, sorry, at the Albert Thomas Convention Center in downtown Houston. Not too many people remember that because it goes back to about the turn of the century. But at any rate, it was there, and it was number 3. And I had no clue. It was a fiberglass car, clearly, but I had no clue how bad the paint job on was because you can see the fiberglass beneath the paint.
Yeah.
Yep.
And to be able to paint a car and keep, now this was the all original, to keep a car that you could still see the fiberglass underneath the paint is truly amazing.
That's what Ryan Evans with Counts Customs had mentioned. He said that the paint job on that car was not necessarily the best paint job there, but the paint job that was on that car was unbelievable because the way they laid the fiberglass, it was cloth fiberglass. It was very difficult to get a decent finish. And this car, it's
because you get the texture of the fiberglass coming out.
Well, I don't think that they gel coated them back then, and so you could see. Thank you so much. Is this the vodka that you promised?
I ordered a martini. Is that coming down there?
It's headed your way after
Okay,
I
good.
get done with my share of it. But it's truly amazing to see that car. And, you look at that first production run, 300 would have been in that first production run.
That's correct.
And I believe that car was built in Flint, Michigan, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
That was before they opened the Corvette factory in St. Louis. And very primitive, and nothing fit. It was, of course, at the time, put your mind back to 1953. I don't think I even had a mind in 1953.
I was building a spine.
Yeah, building a spine. But that was really cutting edge, and they were trying to compete against European cars of the time. And to see that car in person, you go, wow, for an American car from 1953 built out of fiberglass that had a 2-speed transmission in it, and it was primitive.
Oh, yeah.
But it was also cutting edge. Nobody had ever seen anything like it before. And it's truly amazing to see the technology and all the brain power that went behind that. I also saw a C1 Corvette that was owned by Ken Lingenfelter and his brother John, who I did the interview with. And John Lingenfelter had a C1, and it was a I want to say it was a 55 model that a supplier to Corvette Chevrolet wanted to supercharge the 235 Blue Flame 6 that was in it.
Wow.
As opposed to putting the V8 motor in it, which they ultimately did. But this was a one-off, and it was a car that went down the assembly line, the difference being that they put a supercharger on it, and to see all that fit under the hood of that Blue Flame 6 was truly amazing.
Wow.
And I asked him, I said, how did it run? He says, runs really well. And it would have beaten the V8 Corvette because of the torque.
Right.
And that inline 6-cylinder. But I've seen a lot of Corvettes in my day, and those are a couple. Those C1s are truly amazing. And if you ever get a chance to go through one, look at it, put your head in the window, look under the hood, see how the suspension is built, you're going to go, wow, this is so primitive. Back in 53, that was cutting edge.
State of the art.
Yeah.
Here's a little fun fact for you. This month, February 12th, what happened in Bowling Green? Collapse of the Corvette Museum.
The sinkhole? Was
Yep,
that?
sinkhole was February 12th. It happened early morning, and 8 vehicles were virtually destroyed, which are still on display.
Have you been up to the Bowling Green?
I did. I took a group of our club members. I did 8 trips in 2023. Most recent was in January 26th, where we did a dual delivery from our Corvette club. Myself and Paul Lopez, our membership director, we did a museum delivery. And that was on the 26th, and we had about 13 of us that went up there for that.
Are they still doing the museum deliveries?
Oh yeah, they do about probably 16 a day.
Didn't they? I thought they stopped that for
The tour.
Well, they stopped the tour. They're still doing the museum deliveries, but February 5th they stopped the plant tours.
That's what it is.
And you also can't order the baby book. If you bought a new one and you wanted to order the baby book where they take pictures of the car when it's going through the assembly line, they're not doing that anymore. And they never speculated what it is. I mean, I got some ideas, some guesses what I think it might be, but that's just my personal opinion.
Espionage?
Well, I think it's because they're probably doing something with that new ZR1 that's going to come out.
That's what, yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of the gist.
The model
I got.
changes.
Right.
Well, they built that museum on top of a cave because in that part of Kentucky there's a lot of caves that go for miles and miles.
Right.
And when they hit bedrock, they should have gone a little bit further because it was just a false bedrock reading, and then it went through, and the rest is history.
Now, the way they put it back together, I mean, it's going to be here when Gabriel toots his whistle. So it's.
I thought it was a horn.
Well, toots his horn. You're correct.
Whistles, horns, it's the same
Just
family.
had to say.
Yeah.
Tony Acado, is it?
Yes, that's it.
Can you turn his microphone on,
Also
David?
known as
Turn the microphone on.
There you go.
He's
Okay,
also
so-
known as
okay,
Big
yeah.
Tuna.
Yeah, tuna.
Yeah, so
How did you get that name?
it's a long story, but I'll give you the short version.
Is it clean?
Yes, it's clean.
Oh, we don't want to hear about it then.
The mafia boss of Chicago for a very long time was Tony Accardo, and his nickname was the Big Tuna. He also had another nickname called Joe Batters, and the reason he had Joe Batters was because that was his weapon of choice, was a baseball bat.
Oh.
So he was best friends with Al Capone, and one night they were in a restaurant, and guy came in with a machine gun and sort of mowed down the place, and Tony jumped on top of Al Capone and gave him the nickname of the Big Tuna. And then when Al went to jail, Al turned Las Vegas over to Tony Accardo. So that's how I got the nickname.
Is your last name Accardo?
Accardo, yes.
Well, naturally, Mars would misspell it here.
Let me give you
Accardo. Right here. And I'm also a veteran.
There you go.
So,
thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what kind of car do you have, Tony?
I have two. I have a 1972 blue coupe, 454, big block.
Of course you do, yeah.
That was my first Corvette. I got that in '99 in a divorce sale, and I got a real good bargain on that.
I'm sure you did.
And then
what did she get?
Yeah, right. And then I talked my wife into letting me buy a 2015 C7, same color, same blue color. It's
nice.
It's called Laguna Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a coupe.
Pretty car.
I turned 40,000 miles today on that car, so I drive it a lot. I love it.
And
So
you're
it's
here
great.
locally? Or no, you're San Antonio?
We're in Northwest Houston. We're in Cypress. He's down in Clear Lake.
Yeah, the opposite
I'm
sides
in
of town.
Cypress. Yeah.
So what car club are you?
It's called Northwest Houston Vet Rods, and unlike other Corvette clubs, we're very unique. We allow hot rods into our club. I call it the 80-20 club because 80% of our cars are Corvettes and 20% are hot rods. And the reason we do that is because many of our members own more than one type of car.
Right.
So
You're bragging.
Yeah. Well,
show off.
So one of our members has 35 cars. Okay, so that'll give you an idea of what we're talking about.
We know those guys.
Yeah, and not all of them are Corvettes.
There's one over there.
And we want to be them.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a 35 car collection.
So we're out of Cypress Spring area.
Yeah.
And we've been in business since 2004.
Very nice.
So, yeah.
Let me tell you my 454 72 coupe story. I was working at a Chevrolet dealership called Richardson Chevrolet. Used to be at the intersection of Hillcroft and 59. And I was working in new car make ready. And so every night they'd take the Corvettes off the showroom display outside along the side of the showroom, and they'd pull them in the service department to prevent theft. Mm-hmm. Well, in the morning, somebody had to drive them and put them back on display.
Of course they did.
Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
Don Armstrong and Ross Putnam. Take those cars out. Not a problem. Start those cars up, and our favorite one was the blue 454.
Yep.
Oh, my God. It might not have had a whole lot of horsepower for cubic inches, but by God, it had lots of torque.
Oh, yeah.
And it would boil the black tire off the back of the car.
Oh, yeah.
So when he sold the car, they had to change the back tires on it. Yeah. Needless to say, Ross and
Chisel the rubber off.
Right.
It was great stuff.
Yep.
We thoroughly enjoyed that car. You know, the one thing that stands out, this is going to be stupid, I know, but they had some fiber optic that went from the back tail lights up to the center console.
I had that in my
Yours
Nova.
work?
No. Oh, no.
I
don't
put that
work.
in my
No,
Nova.
not work.
In the back of a Cadillac, if you look in the rear view mirror, there would be two little eyes or two little red lights. When you hit it, the fiber optic would show that your lights are working, right or left, or blinkers. It would do the same thing. I installed it in my Nova.
Of course you did.
Because my dad was a Cadillac guy, so I had all that ability.
Well, this was on the Corvette, and it came up right there in the center console. You need to get those working for me.
I have the roll-up windows in my 72.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I bought my daughter a 2007 Ford Focus. It's got roll-up windows and a 5-speed manual transmission.
Yeah.
She's lucky it's got an AM radio in it.
Yeah.
Those are the days.
Yeah.
So how do we get a hold of you guys? How about you, Tony?
We have, in the city, we have 7 Corvette clubs.
Wow.
Okay.
And he and I represent 2 of them. And if you count the Corvette club that came in from San Antonio, we actually have 5 presidents that are here today.
Today.
And what we've done, last year we decided to get together as a group. So we have a committee, or we have a presidential committee of all the Corvette club presidents. And we're planning a big event on June 30th in Friendswood, his neighborhood. So we'd like you guys to be there to do exactly what y'all are doing here today. And we're expecting anywhere from 200 to 300 Corvettes to show up for that.
So you
it's
want
going to be a
mine there, too.
very special event.
So
yes.
the 5 presidents are here today.
There's 5 presidents here,
Isn't that on Mount Rushmore?
including Tim Kirchner from San Antonio.
Okay, here's my suggestion. I'd like to do this. Get all 5 of you on stage here, and we'll take a picture.
Sounds like a good idea.
If we can track them down.
I hope Tony don't break
when
the
in the show,
camera,
we'll get
but we'll
him
give it a
up
shot.
If we can track them down. Bill's here. Bill Hoffman's here from Coach. AJ's here. I'm here. Who else is here?
2 others.
I haven't seen anybody.
Nevertheless, there's 5.
Yeah.
We'll round them up somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
You can get a hold of us through SpaceCityCorvetteClub.com.
How about you?
And I'll leave you my card.
Okay, do.
And what I'd like to tell everyone, all the Corvette owners out there, unlike the other Corvette clubs, we meet every Sunday morning on the corner of Spring Cypress and Champions Forest. And on a good day like today, we'll average anywhere from 60 to 70 cars show up, and that would be vet rods. So we might have, like I said, 80% Corvettes and 20% beautiful hot rods. We got some of the most beautiful hot rods in the city in our club.
Do y'all do any rod runs?
We do runs, yeah. We try to do a run every month. This is considered a run for us, yeah.
So next weekend, next Sunday morning from 9 to noon, there's Chrome and Coffee. Craig Bierman, that owns Speed and Sport Chrome Plating, puts it on at the Avalon Diner down at the Fountains, which is right there by Highway 90A and 59, the Southwest Freeway.
Sugarland, yeah.
Sugarland, Stafford area,
and so easy to get to down the Beltway, needless to say. And every weekend it's more and more cars. And yes, there's some later model cars, but there's a lot of older hot rods that come in. Lots of fun, lots of good guys too.
And you can have breakfast at the diner too.
And breakfast at the diner.
Yeah, we have a breakfast place. We call it the Big Tree. It's a big oak tree, and that's where remember the Nifty 50s used to be at the Kroger Center.
Yeah.
Well, that's where we meet, and we've been meeting there for the last 17 years, and it's been successful. And we meet every Sunday, rain or shine, cold weather, hot weather, and if it's too rainy or too cold, we go inside and we have a good time. At Sleek Cafe, there's a place called Sleek Cafe. So
very nice.
And that's how we get our membership.
It's cool.
Perfect.
Very nice.
And we're up to about 250. Can you believe that?
Wow.
250 members.
What do you estimate vehicles here today?
Okay, so I think AJ mentioned it, but the previous record in 2022 was 115 Corvettes.
Not just yours, all the clubs.
All the clubs. Okay, so we had 170 Corvettes outside and 13 Vipers?
Yep, that's
13 Vipers.
Today.
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 And plus in the back 40, we even had 3 or 4 hot rods from my club back there. There's a 57 Chevy back there that belongs to my club.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, Doug brought 3 cars today. One guy brought 3 cars. One's driven by his granddaughter, that big wide body C3 outside, that yellow one, which is very unique. And then he brought his Corvette, and his granddaughter and his wife drove another the 57 Chevy.
Nice.
Wow.
So
good. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by today.
Well, as Elvis would say, thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all.
You bet.
Appreciate you. All right. Is Mr. Mars here?
Yeah.
Mr. Mars,
Right
do you have auto history, or do we need to postpone that? Auto history? You said that you had auto history.
We're not
and
going
I
to
made
do a break?
note right here.
We're going to do a break?
We're going to do a break, but I need to find out whether he's going to do his thing or
Okay.
not. Because
well,
if
we
not,
can do that after the break.
we're going to
Sure.
Okay. No, are we all set up to do the break this time?
Yeah, we're
going to
do the right one, which is number 3, correct?
All right. Whatever you say.
Whatever.
All right. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Hey, you're on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thanks for riding with us today. Time now for This Week in Auto History, Mr. Mars.
Okay.
As soon as I turn it on, it is.
You need to stop. He needs to take that away from him.
I'm
He's got a microphone switch over there, and he turns it off.
And forgets to turn it on.
I thought you wanted it off.
That's when he wants it off, he wants it off.
All right, Mars, go ahead.
Yeah. So this week in auto history, found 5 things that I thought were very interesting. This week in auto history, 1917, Glenn Curtiss designed an aluminum autoplane, had 3 wings spanning 40 feet. The car's engine actually drove a propeller at the rear of the car. And while it didn't actually fly, it did a bunch of hops, but it's considered the first flying car.
God. Ooh. Yeah, I could see you in that thing.
1909, Hudson Motor Car Company was founded. In 1910, a total of 4,500 Hudson automobiles left the assembly line, which was a record for all automakers that year. The Hudson name saw its last car come off the assembly line in 1957. When Chevrolet rolled out the Corvette prototype in January 1953, less than a month later, Ford suddenly came up with a Thunderbird prototype. In its first year, it sold 16,155 units, which outsold the Corvette that year. And the Thunderbird lasted through 11 generations, ended production in 2005. Its main claim to fame was it made the Corvette get better. February 1959, the High Bank 2.5-mile Daytona International Speedway hosts the first Daytona 500. 41,000 fans attended the inaugural event, and the winner was not decided until 61 hours after the race ended because it was the photo finish. They had to develop the film so that they could look at it and see who won.
To get the photo, Matt.
And lastly, The aerodynamic Plymouth Superbird, while we're at the Daytona 500, ran in February of 1970. The number 40 car, driven by Pete Hamilton for Petty Enterprises, crossed the finish line a full 3 car lengths ahead of the number 2 car, which immediately got people looking at how to disqualify it and keep it from running anymore.
And they did.
And they did.
And they did.
And that's this week in auto history.
Thank you, sir. We'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. The address here, info@inwheeltime.com. As Scout Motors barrels toward revealing its initial electric SUV and pickup this summer, an overtly retro design does not seem likely, according to the startup brand's chief. While the company is embracing fully the heritage of International Harvester's Scout vehicles, CEO Scott Keogh said he doesn't want to be trapped in the 1970s when it comes to styling. Who do you think you are? International Harvester's first Scout, one of the industry's initial SUVs, rolled off the line at the company's Fort Wayne, Indiana plant in November 1960. International built its last SUV wearing the Scout II nameplate in October 1980. The name then went dormant outside of enthusiast communities, collectors, and off-roaders. Keogh said Scout intends to show the 2 vehicles at the same time. Both will ride on a new body-on-frame platform that executives insist is unique to the brand. Oh, boy. We got us another SUV coming that looks like all the rest. Can't wait.
Put more seats in it.
Time now for a quick break. You're on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, streaming and podcasting around the planet. Look for us on your favorite podcast provider.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 of the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
From Hovis's HEMI Hideout in Brookshire, Texas, podcasting and streaming around the globe, it's the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, more gas from today's open house here at the Hideout. Jeff has a feature on 5 things you shouldn't do while driving a manual transmission.
You bet.
Let's see. Making omelets, pouring martinis.
No, you can. That's allowed.
All that and more just ahead on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, who's off gallivanting around looking for our next guest. We need more Jeff Zekin.
Yep.
Our
chief bottle washer. And
potentate.
Another rare and special appearance by the Jack LaLanne of automotive, David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Did you like that? The Jack LaLanne of automotive.
Is he still alive?
No, he's been dead for years.
Really?
But
is that what you're saying I am?
No, I didn't say that at all.
I said it.
But, you know, Mr. Health and Fitness over here, along with many other things that can't be repeated on the air. David Ainsley. Thank
Well,
you for
they could
joining
be
us as always.
Glad to be here.
See, what would you do without us?
There's your next guest coming up right there, right
Bill
on.
Seitz?
boy.
Oh, he's shaking his head no. But yes, we're shaking our head yes. Just sit down and shut up. Bill Seitz has been he may not consider me.
Sit here.
He may not consider me a friend, but I consider him
Grab that
a
headset.
friend. I met he and his wife in 1977. I take that back. It was 78. And the reason I say that is because I took delivery on the 77 Corvette in October, and I ordered it in July. So it took me a while to think, okay, well, I got a Corvette. Ooh, Corvette Club. Okay, so I started poking around, looking in newspaper ads when they had those little bitty box ads and stuff, help wanted ads. And I saw San Jacinto Corvette Club. I thought, well, that'll be fun. So I go to those boring open meetings. Could the secretary please read the minutes? Yeah, let me just go ahead and curl up and die on the floor with the minutes. It's like some sort of high school play. Anyway, so right out of the box, here comes Sharon and Bill. Hi, we're Sharon and Bill Seitz. Welcome to the Corvette Club. I think was Sharon the president? He needs his microphone on, David.
He's on Mike's mic.
He's on Mike's mic. Has Mike turned it now? Just hold on. Go over there and turn the damn thing on, would you? Mike and Mike has got all sorts.
There you
go. Okay.
Is that on now? I think
it's on now. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I feel much better.
So was Sharon president of the San Jacinto Corvette Club in '78?
She wasn't involved in the San Jacinto Club.
Who was? Well, were you the president?
No.
Who was the president? No, I don't want to know.
That was 100 years ago. I didn't have a clue.
In '78, wasn't that that was Lyndon Johnson?
No, it wasn't quite that old, but at any rate,
president.
So I don't know whether y'all were the welcoming committee or whatever, but you two came up to me and said, "Hi, we're Bill and Sharon. Welcome to the club. You a member? No, great. Well, we're going to cost you $25 for join. I just came to visit. Oh, okay, sit down. So I sat down, and that was the beginning of what we've come to today.
Yep.
And I'm so sorry. My apologies.
It wasn't long after that we kind of broke off from San Jacinto.
Well, as a matter of fact, I mentioned that. I don't know whether you heard that or not, but yes, because if memory serves me, and I know you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but San Jacinto at the time, there were a lot of racers in there.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, the hot rodders and all that stuff, and we were more of the show car sissies. We didn't really have cruise-ins back then, I recall.
Not a lot.
But we had, in the park car shows on the weekend, on a Saturday or Sunday. And so we kind of got together with that stuff.
Yep.
And we started our own club because they didn't want to do all of the car shows that we wanted to do. We wanted to compete on another level.
You saw how that worked out. Ours has been gone for a long time, and San Jacinto's still hanging in there.
Yeah, they are. But that's okay.
But it was fun.
It was fun. It was an experience, that for sure.
The snowy trip up to Oklahoma City.
Oh, my God, yes. I will never forget that. On the back of an open car carrier.
That helped a lot.
Oh, it helped great big because your car's kind of tilted up, so all of the dirty snow and water goes all up underneath all of that hard work that you spent months cleaning to be perfect in every way, all ruined and trashed. And it took days, never ever got it clean after that. So I'm telling you, dude, I don't ever want to have that experience again in my life. You see how gray our hair is?
No, I didn't notice that.
That's because of that trip. That turned it gray.
That's what
did it.
That's what did it.
Yeah, it did. But anyway, so we have history.
What are you working on now?
Artwork.
Anything?
Just my artwork.
Yeah.
Not working on the cars anymore. Getting down there and getting back up is not working out real well.
So you got something you're going to put in here in the near future? Or?
No, I'm just doing illustrations for different folks and different car clubs and things like that.
And I mentioned that. I don't know whether you were privy to that when I announced that to the world. But while John was doing his thing, I said for everybody to be sure and look at the artwork that's on the walls and the centerpiece out there under the cupola. And that's my friend Bill Seitz. And he did all of that. Very talented guy, very wonderful artist. And so I kind of pumped you up. And I didn't really mean it.
That was good. I couldn't find the line that was waiting to meet me, but I'm sure that there were some folks over there. Maybe.
He couldn't find the line of the people that were waiting to meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just missed it. He just passed it by.
I know what it is, yeah.
Yeah, there's that.
Story of my life.
Yes, I'm familiar with that.
He was in the wrong line. That's what it was.
Yeah.
There you go.
Again. So well, that's good that you're still doing your artwork. Do you advertise that you do artwork?
No, but I need to get back into that and do that. I'm branching out, too. I'm starting to do some aircraft as well as automobiles.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a connection.
Really? I might talk to you about that.
Yeah, I have an aircraft connection.
I was on an air crew in the Navy, so the 3 aircraft that I flew on, I've illustrated those. In fact, they're over there.
Really?
You ought to take a look.
Where are they?
I will.
Right in my display that you probably walk right by.
I didn't know that you had a display.
Yeah, they're right there in the wall.
Yeah, he's not advertising. He just has a display over there.
Okay. Well, I'll have to remember that. You'll have to take me by the hand over there because clearly my eyesight is failing me.
Been there, done that.
Well, you know how that goes. That's the second time that goes.
Use GPS.
The second thing that goes. Thank you, Mars.
I'm back.
He's back.
Did you find anybody?
Yes.
Good man.
Yeah. So Bill helped build this. And I guess you would call it the construction supervisor. What title would you put on that? Because it was kind of like a do-all.
I was the project coordinator.
That'll work.
I built
There you
nothing, but I kind of coordinated the folks that had
Put
the
that
talent
over
to build.
there.
So in other words, you had like
tote
the
that
concrete guy come on one day.
We had a project. We had a construction superintendent and construction manager that actually worked closely with the subcontractors, but somebody kind of had to keep it all coordinated. And
I'll never forget. I ran into you and you said, "Listen, when this thing is built, you've got to come out and see this thing." Did he have a name for it back then?
We were still making lists.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of threw in a name or two to see what.
So what are some of those names? Obviously, this one won, but
I don't recall. I can't even recall the one that I put in, which did not win. But HEMI Hideout, and I don't know who put that in, but it just seemed to fit. And
Yeah, it does.
clicked.
Yeah, it does. It's very good. But when did John hire you to start your position and help build this thing?
It's about 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
So 14 years ago.
Thank you. Yes.
That, right? And
We spent 2.5 years building it, and then
what took so damn long? Were you part of the highway crew that is trying to fix
You're
it out
running
here
this
in
show?
it was a project coordinator.
It was the project coordinator that did it. That's what drug it all down. How long did it take to build this?
About 2.5 years total from the time we put the flags in the ground marking the spot until we finished paving out by the main gate and opened up.
Oh, so you did the paving too out from the main
John
gate?
had all that done. We actually used the dirt coming in here instead of the broken up blacktop that was for the main road.
Gotcha.
And fortunately, that was the year 2011. I think we had the big drought for like a year or two,
Yes.
which was a blessing for this place because we had no downtime. And it wasn't a big muddy mire. We'd have still been stuck out there.
Yeah.
So the ponds that I see out here driving in, were those dug or were those natural formations?
There was some ponds already there that I think John and his family had put in before, but we dug them much deeper. It was extensive. The geothermal heating and cooling expert said that heat transfer is best in water. So we said instead of drilling holes typically that you'll put piping in for geothermal cooling, run it out to the pond. And, of course, then he said, well, it's not quite deep enough, so we excavated about 3,000 truckloads of dirt.
Oh, my gosh.
So you added ponds and the existing you dug deeper.
Much deeper. And we put a big glorified radiator, heat transfer, heat radiator in the deep end of that one pond. It looked like a construction project for a highway or a lake.
I'm sure.
It was amazing.
Yep.
Wow. And that's all. You took photos for the historical part of it, or is there a timeline that maybe there's a book that you can look through? And
don't have a book. I took about 2,000 photographs, and we've got a small 80 photograph chronological display in the barn.
Where I was looking for the chronological part of it.
And that gives folks a taste of kind of how it worked from groundbreaking all the way through the progression, all the way to the end.
How long did it take him to raise the structure itself once the foundation was poured? recall? Several months?
Relatively quick, a couple months. There was a team of about 5 or 6 guys that do this. They came out here and had a couple trucks, and we had two-man lifts and about 150 come-alongs, big, ratchet deals.
You grab that end, I'll grab this end. Let's lift it up.
Yeah.
And it went up just like crazy.
Were there cranes involved?
We had 2 cranes, yes. They'd take each one of these big truss assemblies, and they'd build it flat on the ground or on the concrete, assemble it, and then they'd have a crane raise it up into position, tie it into the concrete. Then it would sit there with it suspended, and the next crane, we had 2, would raise the next truss, and then they'd tie them together so they're freestanding and move the cranes down and so on.
This was all new for you, was it not?
Pretty new, yeah.
Yeah, because,
I Googled it.
Yeah, Googled it. I know for a while that you worked for Fluor. And so
years ago,
yeah, years ago, but that was not your focus at all.
Not related.
No.
I've done a lot of things.
I know
some successfully.
Have you always been an artist, or is just one time in your life you just picked it up and said, "Hey, I can do this"? Or as a child, you've always done art?
Always liked it right from the get-go. My dad was artistically inclined. He didn't pursue that as a profession, thank goodness. It doesn't pay much, but it's been my talent for a long time. Don's, the illustration I did for you was one of the first ones I did.
It's in the studio.
It's in the studio.
Yeah,
cool.
It's in the studio.
I probably need to touch that up for you a little bit.
Well, it is a watercolor and it has faded, but that's okay. I like it the way that it is.
I can touch it up if you like.
Well, it kind of matches Don.
Little faded.
It looks old and
faded.
Old and pathetic. But
he didn't say that.
But the structure is still there.
He's right.
Like I said, I can touch that up.
Solid frame.
You can. Yeah, I know you can. But I will tell you this. I told the story about the Pontiac Sunfire.
Bird.
Was
Sunbird.
Sunbird. All right, Sunbird that Sharon had, and the air conditioning went out on it. And
I don't recall that.
Yes, you do. And I'll never forget going over to his house, and half the stuff underneath the hood is torn out of the car. I said, "Bill, what are you doing?" "Well, I'm trying to fix the air conditioning." "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Well, the compressor did this, and the evaporator did that." I'm going, I don't know anything about any of that. So he got the book out and somehow managed to figure it all, how it all works, and put it all back together, and it worked. Amazing. If I'd have done that, it'd still be laying on the floor.
I remember that now. Yes, I do. You know the story how we bought that car?
One. No.
Sharon and I, being the masters of negotiation, we went into a Pontiac dealer down on I-10 somewhere out in Katy. We were going for a Grand Prix. She had one when she was younger. And found out that we couldn't afford it, so there was a really neat Sunbird on the showroom floor.
Oh, God, a brown
and we
one.
said, we want that one. And so instead of a Grand Prix, we came in with a Sunbird.
Oh, my God.
Because it was a pretty color.
Kathy bought a Taurus SHO off the showroom years ago because it was petty blue, gray interior.
This was not that. This was not that.
I think I paid as much for it as we did would have a Grand Prix in the long run.
Oh, yeah, trying to keep it running. Yeah, so I do remember that vividly. I also remember one summer, we had no rain. They go out of town. "Don, will you come over and water the grass?" "Yeah." Well, what I didn't realize is that they set me up, is what they did, because they had watered the grass about 3 days earlier. Well, it was already in decline, and I go over there, and I skipped one night. God knows for what reason. But it started the decline rapidly. And I'm watering. I'm thinking, my God, how much water is it going to take to get this thing to come back? I knew nothing about grass. Mm-hmm. Well, certain types. And I will tell you that whole yard, Bill, when they got back, they went, "Oh, no, this is not going to work." So Bill goes out and buys a St. Augustine remover and tears up the entire grass that I failed at keeping it alive, and buys all new sod. God knows how much it cost. Have it delivered, and then lays it all out there. Who did it? Don Armstrong ruined the grass.
He didn't share. You didn't share in the expense of that either, I don't think.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
I remember you want to give him an invoice today?
I remember cutting that sod up, and it like to kill me. I'm still hurting from that.
Well, that was a machine, and you can't pull that wool over our eyes. But it was still a machine. It was
a heavy machine.
It was a heavy machine with some sort of gasoline motor on it, and I don't know how it worked, but
it was evil.
It was evil. It was the devil on the St. Augustine that tore it out of there. Yeah. So we have experiences. We have history together. The Seitzes and the Armstrong.
Some of it's interesting, most of it's
boring.
But
it made part of our lives what we are today.
That's right.
So it was good times, and Bill was kind enough, and he probably regrets it today. I know John does, to introduce me to John Hovis and bring me out into the HEMI Hideout, and I've been a fan ever since.
We love having you out here. It's fun.
Thank you, man. Yeah, and so. John kind of breezed over the fact that he's got 30 people that kind of help in all of this. I know that you and Sharon are part of that crew, but explain to everybody how that works. So they have an event out here. Depending on what kind of event, they'll call in all the crew or a few people from the crew.
Shelley puts a list out, emails it to everybody who's involved or wants to be involved.
Or who's available.
We pick whoever's available, and we'll come out and help out. He pays us absolutely nothing. And it's just wonderful.
Yeah, well, it's for a good cause. And, I've never heard anybody complain about the fact
Not
that.
a one.
I had to pay $10 to get in. Well, I did take that back. Tommy Noto complained one time because he didn't know that he had to pay cash, and they don't take credit cards. So he spent an hour trying to find an ATM around here. There is nothing around here with an ATM. He had to go down the freeway to get the $20 for he and his wife to get in here.
They ain't getting past Paula.
And you would think some friends would have gave him $20, instead of him going down the road.
Well,
but
I didn't know that. I
work.
would have paid his way in, but I didn't know he was here. So how am I to know? I guess I just go dump my wallet over there to Paula, and she'll just dole it out for me.
Yeah, whoever needs it.
Hey, I know Don Armstrong. Oh, well, here you go. Here's some tickets. $10 out of that,
no,
$10 there.
$50 if you know Don.
That's exactly right. Well, we love you, Bill Seitz and Sharon Seitz, and thank you both.
Thank you,
sir.
Enjoy talking with you guys. It's wonderful.
And you too, my friend. Okay, where are we in this
break
mess?
time?
It is break time. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts, believe it or not, are at your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call, and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Okay. We are back on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, and joining us now, Shelley Gates. Okay, who's Shelley Gates? Well, Shelley Gates really runs the HEMI Hideout. So if you have a wedding, or you want to come out and visit,
or an event like this,
private tour, an event like this, she's the one that gets your email, and she's the one that coordinates it. And then we say, "Oh, are we invited?" And Shelley always says, "No, you're not." Well, can we elbow our way in? Well, I guess. So
you're always invited.
Thank you. Well, John made that clear today. I said, I understand you're having more and more of these open houses. And he said, yeah. He says, anytime you want to come, we want to have you here. I said,
absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's tons of fun, and we enjoy it. And today, oh my gosh, what a crush of people.
Yeah, they're all out looking at the cars right now.
Yeah, it was truly amazing. Everybody's saying, man, you got to go out there and see the line. How can I see the line? I'm on the air. I can't go see the line.
Yes, there was 170 Corvettes that we counted, and I counted 12 Vipers, but someone said 14. So
okay, 12, 14, whatever. Yeah, and other cars as well, because I know there's some hot rods that were
They're
in the
so
back.
fast they got by you.
Oh, right.
They did not get by Paula. I can promise
not
you
Paula.
that. No.
Got by Shelley.
So, how are things going out here?
Well, this month, February, has been just as busy as our Decembers. Typically, Decembers are busy.
I know.
busiest
What's
month.
up with that?
I don't know. It's good for us.
Well, I know. It keeps everything busy. And, the other thing is every time I come here, the cars have moved around.
I did move a couple on you. You asked if they were new. I just put them in a different spot.
I see. Well, because I wasn't used to sitting in. Do you actually rearrange these cars yourself?
Well, the guys that work here on the property, they help me move stuff like that.
Gotcha.
You coordinate, put that one there, move this one here,
Yes.
they do all that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to be that guy.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It seems like every event that you have here, you kind of rearrange stuff depending on the event. Tables, no tables, some tables, not as many tables, that kind of stuff.
Right. You have to, and you want it to look a little different when you come,
Yeah, I
especially
guess.
for repeat
But,
visitors.
the other thing is that people don't realize that, like, for instance, the Bulldog sign, I saw all the postings on Facebook about raising the Bulldog. That was huge. That was,
Yes.
how many days did that take?
Oh, just a couple, because Bill Prokopic, who does the restoration, he's very organized, and so he made sure to have a plan before he implemented it. And so it was actually pretty quick once he got started.
Well, he had to finish building it on the ground first
Right.
with those dimensions and then coordinate to put it up. So.
Right. He made a template and put the template up there to make sure that the Bulldog would fit.
I remember that. Yeah.
And so it was a process, but he hung it pretty quickly.
It's amazing because, the first time I came out here, there were a few signs, but nothing like this. Nothing.
Right. But even back then, people thought it was full.
I know.
It looked full, but it wasn't.
It's not full now. You got more space.
No,
There's
I'm
a spot over
I'm
there.
seeing a hole
over
right up
there.
here.
Come on now.
Yeah, we could always find lots of stuff. But in the meantime, all of this stuff has gone in here over the past 15 years, something like that.
Well, the HEMI Hideout will turn 11 years old in March.
11.
And so a little before completion of what we called complete March, 11 years ago, he started buying a few oil and gas signs, gas pumps to decorate the HEMI Hideout, and then traveling around the United States to different auctions.
Listen, I've heard those stories about
Yeah.
that.
Did you go with them? Have you attended any of those?
To more local, like Round Top, a couple
Right.
times a year.
But no, she's talking about trips up to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I know that, but I didn't know if she was part of that within the organization, going up and maybe have a position for
A lot of
helping out.
a lot of the auctions are also online, so
Yeah.
I do look at those too.
Yeah.
Help with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun.
We're all keeping our eyes open for the next.
Big sign
Yes.
like this one back here.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's truly amazing. I don't know how you do what you do because it's, as I've said before, it's like herding cats, trying to keep all of this going and moving and making sure that everything happens the way that it should. So, it's got to be. What a rewarding job that is, though. How fun.
Definitely.
Wow.
I love it. And I know a lot of other designers and decorators would kill for my job.
Yeah, no doubt.
But-
And and every Christmas you do such a great job with the Christmas tree.
Absolutely.
In the middle out there, and I'm thinking, well, this is what she does. This is not just her hobby. This is her profession.
Right.
And that's how you really kind of got into all this, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. John and Diane hired you to help.
Right. Well, they first remodeled their home and then another building apartment on the property here. And then John laid out the plans of the HEMI Hideout. Of course, it was smaller. It wasn't this, 5
Right.
stories tall with patios. And I said, I'm a residential. I do homes. And he goes, it's my garage. I want you to help me with it.
Big garage. You know
That
anybody
has
that's
a
got a
kitchen?
garage like this? No.
John.
John, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, I'm a part of some different car clubs. I want a place to come and hang out. In Texas here, it's really hot at times. So I want a place to escape the heat. So I need a kitchen. We might want to do some pancakes in the morning.
I could go for a pancake right now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Then we needed a lounge, to hang out,
And
watch
then
TV.
And then you got a hold of the drawings for the restrooms and went, no, we got to redo that.
Right.
Yeah.
We need more than one restroom.
Yeah.
Women needs their separate areas.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you did that. Well, it's great to talk to you. And, Shelley, it's really an honor and pleasure to come out here and do these broadcasts.
Thank you.
We always have such a good time. Thank
It's
you
fun.
for everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate you. Okay.
Thank you.
Shelley Gates. She is
Thank you.
Ms. HEMI Hideout. All right.
There you go.
Today's In Will Time Car Show is sponsored by the group of original Lupi Tortilla restaurants in Houston, Beaumont, and College Station, Gulf Coast Auto Shield, and Pro-Am Auto Accessories. We'll continue the In Will Time Car Talk Show right after this quick break.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Podcasting and streaming worldwide, it's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show today from the HEMI Hideout in Brookshire, Texas. Just ahead, we've got some interesting things that we haven't been able to get a hold of and get to you because we've been so busy doing other things here. So we're going to get to all of that. Jeff's got the feature on the 5 things you shouldn't do if you drive a manual transmission in your car.
Yep.
And one of them is not taking your clothes off.
No, that's
another story for another day.
That's another segment.
Okay.
Okay, well, here we go.
All right, and we'll cruise-in calendar. We got headlines. We got stuff to do. So you just stay with us. We're going to have a good time.
Okay.
Along with Mike out of This World Mars, we always need more Jeff Zekin, and Chief Cook and Bottle Washer Chief Engineer David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. You just need to calm your jets. I'll get to you in just a minute.
You got to slow him down sometimes.
I know he's doing 100 miles. Oh, I got to do this.
He's a drummer. He's a drummer. He's got to keep moving.
I know. So let's talk about the 5 things you shouldn't do if you drive a manual transmission car. Now, let me just say this about that. The manual transmission is becoming a rarity.
Yes.
And it is also a built-in anti-theft device because no one knows how to drive a manual transmission.
Or valet device.
Or valet, yeah.
Or valet, yeah. We do not drive. Do you see that sign now? We do not drive manual transmission cars. Okay, so what do? You can't park anywhere else, and you said valet. We'll let you park it over there. Oh, okay. No tip for you. All right. So
I don't want to do it now.
What are the other things about the manual transmission car?
All right, these 5 things. Well, the stick shift cars, like you said, they're not in vogue anymore. But it is a fun way to drive, keeping you fully engaged on the road and allowing to do that. So using a manual transmission puts responsibility on the finer things of driving. So resting your hand on the shifter. It's important that every time you shift gears, you fully remove your hand from the shifter. Don't do that. You attempt to leave your hand on the shifter, especially if you've been shifting a lot, but it's not good for the gearbox. The components of the shifter are sensitive. They need to have clean shifts, so the slightest bit of unnecessary pressure strains them.
Don't
Do
touch it.
Number 4, resting your foot on the clutch. It's similar to the vein of the shifter knob.
No.
And you might use it frequently as you shift, using it as a footrest. It's entirely not your fault, though,
Burn
Don.
up the clutch.
Yeah, because most modern cars with automatic transmissions have a footrest on the left side next to the brake pedal.
Called the dead pedal.
Yeah, exactly right. So if you're used to driving as automatic and you get into a stick shift car, it's just a natural habit to do that. So they're very sensitive also. If you leave it on there, sometimes you'll actually engage the clutch, depending on how sensitive and what kind of car it is.
Or you'll certainly engage the throwout bearing and have that thing blow out on you. And that might as well have a new transmission.
And that's a lot of money. So number 3, Mike, staying in gear while stopped. Whenever you come to a complete stop in a manual transmission car, you're supposed to shift the gear into neutral. Leaving it in the start mode or start position, leaving it in gear is not good for it. So leaving the car in gear while stopped.
Because it engages the clutch.
Right.
So you put
it puts
in
a
neutral.
strain on the gearbox.
You are looking at me like, oh, no, what is he talking about?
Well,
I know you, Mars.
I don't drive that much in this kind of traffic. And in my mind, I get to the red light, I got my foot on the clutch because I'm going to use it pretty quick.
Oh, God.
Well,
you're such a liar. You know that as well as I do because you were never taught to take your foot off the clutch and put the car in neutral.
That's right. I wasn't. That just. I mean, what we're saying kind of makes sense because we all know shift happens, but it's just not the way I was taught to do it.
Well, I will tell you this: I had a friend of mine, acquaintance, not friend, but acquaintance of mine, that in the automatic transmission car, he'd pull up to a stoplight and put it into neutral.
Really?
And then every single time. Drove me insane because every time that he'd put it in drive. Every time you put it in drive, it clunk, clunk, clunk.
Well,
why are you doing that?
But the engine vibration also can damage the transmission parts. It's the small sensitive parts. Just the vibration alone can vibrate them. Huh. So number 2, shifting without the clutch, Don. Whenever you shift gears on a manual transmission, you need to put the clutch in all the way to fully unlock the shifter. The lever will still move, but the clutch isn't pressed down. Forcing the shifter is possibly the worst thing you could do for your gearbox. It's if you're
Shut up! What?
No. I'm just thinking. I had an old Muncie, aluminum case Muncie.
You could jam
and
those.
About 6,000 RPM. You had to hammer that thing, and sooner or later, it's going to go into gear, clutch or no clutch.
And if you're unlucky, you could leave your shifter limp and useless. Number 1, coasting in neutral. It's an old trick used by some drivers to save gas. When you're coasting in neutral, your car has drastically reduced its functionality. If you're rolling down a hill at high speed, extremely rough road, and it's going to be hard to stop that vehicle. If something jumps out in front of you, you could crash. Coasting in neutral is illegal in several states, so even if you save money on the gas, you could still use it for the ticket.
Well, I think that there's some parts that are still moving, and even when you're coasting, that you have to be aware of. Make sure you have plenty of lubrication for it.
Yeah, don't leave it limp
and unlubricated.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you have it. Those are the 5 things you're not supposed to do.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
We all learned something.
I
Learn
was going to
something
say
new every day.
You could have one of those transmissions like Erica Enders has.
Wouldn't that be sweet?
You let the clutch out, and
Yeah.
then you leave it out and just shift the gears.
Yeah.
But do you know how much that transmission costs?
Well, we,
a lot.
Back in the day, we used to take and build
6
clutch
figures.
flights. We'd take a torque flight transmission and cut the front of it off, and you could mount it onto a bell housing. And actually, there's a way, if you guys knew how to do it. I didn't know how to do it. I've seen it done, and I watched it. But it was actually a clutch with an automatic. You let the clutch out to get rolling, and after that, you shifted with the automatic transmission.
Well, paddle shifting is different than a 6-speed or 5-speed, 4-speed. So that's a different animal altogether because it's more synchroed and
That's going to be your next assignment, Jeff. You're going to have to try to explain that to us.
Yeah.
Do that.
Okay.
I have a lot of stories.
Survey says.
I have a lot of stories that I haven't gotten in this time. I did want to do recalls. Software error may cause a loss of drive power in the Lucid Air 22 to 24 model year. I know that with a lot of Lucids out there.
Mm-hmm.
Jaguar I-Pace, Leslie. High voltage battery may overheat. Jaguar I-Pace 2019 to 2020. Loose connection between the battery and the bus bars.
Wow.
Those are special bars that you drink martinis at, and you get delivered there by a big school bus. Not.
Yellow bus.
Seat belt bezel may damage or tear belt in a crash in the Chevy Silverado EV for 2024. Ford Explorer 2023 model. Fastener connecting knuckle and strut may be loose. Well, look for a crash there.
Mm-hmm.
Power steering pressure line may detach and leak in the Ford Super Duty models, E350, E450, 21 to 22 model years. Mercedes-Benz AMGs, CLS 450, E450, 21 to 23 models, 48 ground cable, not tightened properly. Whoops. Hyundai Palisade for 2024, the engine valve springs may break. And guess what happens in that case?
Yeah.
Nothing good.
It's a catastrophic engine failure. That's what that is. Water damage to the starter solenoid may cause a fire in the Genesis G70, G80, and G90. What am I driving?
G80.
Of course.
Well,
That's what you were driving when you got here.
This is the 2017 to 2019 model years.
yours
It
is
hasn't
4.
caught fire yet, so we're good. Jeep Grand Cherokee and the Wrangler for 21 to 24 model years. Inoperative defrosting and defogging system. Those are the recalls.
Let's roll your window down.
Roll the window down. Someday soon, plug-in cars may no longer need a plug. Electric car drivers would simply pull into a specialized parking space when it's time to power up, wait for a light on their dashboard to switch on, and then hop out of the car and go about your day. It's a promise of the wireless EV charging and inductive transfer of electrons that would eliminate the need for all those pesky cords, kind of like cell phone chargers.
Right.
Companies are coalescing around standardized technology. Automakers are embarking on wireless experiments, and municipalities are mapping out use cases. Even Tesla is interested, but major hurdles remain. Chief among them, slow charging speeds and the money and interest needed to build stations and get more car makers on board.
There is on e-racing, it's like IRL racing, but they're the e-cars where they have the 2 cars for electric. They actually have that where you can get a boost of electricity if you go over a certain part of the track.
Isn't that a Mario Brothers game or
something like that? But it's actually in existence
You would know
now
that
through racing.
You would know that.
I got kids and grandkids.
Yeah. How many times have you played the Mario Brothers?
Just last
night. I don't play
night.
Mario Brothers.
No?
No.
Not recently, anyway.
Well,
just saying.
We've got an old Atari that we're going to break out.
Yeah, that.
Toyota plans to tap its record profits and share the wealth with suppliers so that strapped parts makers can keep up with the Japanese car makers' breakneck sales and production pace. World's largest auto manufacturer said it will pay higher prices to encourage better labor conditions at some 400 suppliers in Japan, starting in the fiscal year that begins April 1st. Hikes will partly help suppliers hire more workers to help better shoulder the workload. They'll also help suppliers afford improvements to the work environment at their factories. Hello, America, where are you? Once again being left behind. It's unclear how much extra Toyota will pay in total. Increases will vary by supplier, and negotiations have only just begun, he said. The course correction comes after Toyota Motor Corporation dashed to record sales and production levels in calendar year 2023 as it ramped up factories to feed pent-up demand. Since last summer, when the global semiconductor shortage eased, Toyota has been cranking out the cars.
Nice.
Let's see. Record operating profit, $34.76 billion in the current fiscal year ending March 31st. That's a lot of dough,
It is.
Ray.
It certainly is.
So when you go to your Toyota dealer and say, how much do you want for that? I can't afford that.
They could just lower the price.
Yeah, they
right?
can afford that.
Could they just lower the price?
Well, they could, but they're not gonna. Why would you do that?
Not gonna do it.
Then you're not gonna do it because you could spill the
hooey.
I'm not going to even go there, Jeff. I can't because it would not be good. This is an adult, children-friendly show. I was going to say it's an adult show, but it's not. Could easily become that.
We could.
Yeah. Why are you?
I thought you were going to break. Sorry.
I can go to break, but I want to do a couple more stories
Sure.
first.
Go ahead.
Ford Motor Company said it's going to begin reopening Michigan Central Station in Detroit almost 6 years after the automaker bought the building from the Maroon family. The hulking former train depot that, for years, served as a symbol of the city's rise and fall over many decades, will reopen starting June 6th, Ford said Tuesday. Michigan Central, designed in the Beaux Arts style, opened in 1913 and has about 500,000 square feet across 18 floors. Amtrak service at the train station was halted in 1988. Have you seen a picture of it? Go online and look at it. You're going to go,
yep,
that is absolutely beautiful.
It's a big event there. It really is.
Yeah, it is. And I'm glad that somebody's taking it over, Ford. That fits, okay?
In that area that actually is, not growing, but remodelized.
It's revitalized. Yeah. It's coming along. General Motors delaying the first sales of its 2024 midsize pickups to ensure that the software on the vehicles functions properly. Sales of the new model year GMC Canyon and Chevy Colorado are being delayed while a software fix is tested and validated. The decision affects about 15,000 pickups, according to a GMC spokesperson. The vehicles have started to ship to dealerships, though none have been delivered to customers, and GM said the stop sale is not related to a safety issue and should be lifted shortly. That's a shame. I like that pickup truck. Subaru temporarily suspending production at 3 of its plants in Japan, including the factories making the Forester and Crosstrek crossovers for export, as well as the BRC Sporty Coupe, after a 35-year-old veteran was crushed to death.
What?
After a 25-ton mold fell on him.
No.
Splat. Not making fun of it. That's terrible. But I'll tell you what, it's a quick way to go.
Yeah.
I went to a Corolla factory. I think it was in Mississippi. Did you go on that tour with me?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, and anyway, this was a factory that included a stamping plant. So they stamped the body panels in the very back of the factory that you look down and you can't even see the back of the factory by the naked eye. It goes on that far. So in the back of the factory is the stamping plant. So they got all the molds from Japan, where they make the molds.
Of course.
And these things are laying on the floor. And there's probably 24 of them. And they're massive, huge iron pieces of metal that are molded, okay? And so they have 2 cranes. One of these cranes takes the mold out of the stamping machine, picks it up, moves it over to the floor, grabs another one, puts it back in the machine. And the machine looks like it has drawers, okay? And the drawer slides in. The bottom part of the mold is down at the bottom. Top of the mold up at the top. This big thing comes along and goes, boom! And the whole floor, the whole building shakes.
Yeah.
And this happened to be the side of the Toyota Corolla 4-door sedan. Comes off of one piece of sheet metal, okay? Both of the doors right? It molds the doors, it moves it into the next set of molds and their actual cutters and cuts the doors out of the mold. Okay? So now you got the surround and the doors. Then they move out of the stamping machine. The doors get hung on, for lack of a better term, a coat hanger.
Yeah.
Okay? Where the side panel does, but two guys have to pick it up and put it on a coat hanger. Then that moves to the assembly line. But the doors stay with the part that surround the doors.
To make sure it fits.
To make sure, because every
body
one
lines.
is just a little bit off.
Yeah, and it doesn't hit right.
But with that, those doors fit perfectly. But now think of this. How do you keep the doors with the surrounds together with the same car and assemble it? Because the doors go one way and the rest of the car goes another.
Don't they have they've got a tag on it?
I don't know how they do. I don't know how they keep it together, but somehow they do.
You scan it.
Because the doors are the most complicated part of the car. Because they go up to a separate and the assembly line, they put all the stuff inside the doors.
Yeah. The part that's touched by human hands the most.
Comes back together. How they do that, I have no clue. But it was an amazing feat. Time now for a quick break. You are on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com, and podcasts at your favorite podcast provider. In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Okay, thank you for joining us today here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We're wrapping things up quickly here at the HEMI Hideout in Brookshire, Texas. Go online, check them out, HEMIHideout.com. Get all the information about the place. It's a wonderful place. Plan your next party out here or gathering. John has open houses all the time. Keep up with all of that. They've also got a Facebook page that works out pretty well, too. Time now for the cruise-in calendar. We got one coming up, as a matter of fact, a week from tomorrow.
Right, a week from tomorrow, we've got, Coffee and Chrome.
Coffee and Chrome.
Coffee and Chrome.
That's going to be at the
Avalon Diner.
Yep.
But today, Saturday, obviously, if you're not here, you're not anywhere. But there was one that just ended in Kingwood this morning when we got here, but that's over with. It was at the Kingwood Whataburger. Also today, going on right now from 10 to 2, is the Unique and Antique Car Show at Harvest Market Wood Forest in Montgomery County. Also tonight, actually, 6 p.m., the Wharton Cruise Night at the Domino's Pizza in Wharton. Talked about it last week. It still goes on. Hubba hubba. And then this one goes out to my cousin Douglas in Corpus Christi. 7 p.m. tonight to 11 p.m. is Vic's Car Cruise Night at Vic's Famous Burgers. So be there or be square. Thank you for that information, Douglas. Tomorrow, February 25th, 9 a.m. to noon, you got rides and coffee out in Katy at the Detail Garage. February 25th, which is tomorrow, noon to 8, Sunday test and tune at Houston Motorsports Park, Mike. Look them up because you can get a test and tune there. It's in Houston Motorsports Park.
I want to do a dyno day. I want to go to a dyno.
This is kind of what they're talking about.
That's not a dyno.
It's a test and tune.
It's an 8-mile drag strip.
Yeah, they're out there. You come out there and just run so you can test it and tune it. And
then set an appointment to do a dyno.
There's once in a while they'll pop up at like $50 a pull,
something like
some
that.
Saturday night or something.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to go to somebody that knows my LS1 engine and knows my Corvette and recommend some sort of a chip that I can put into it.
You want a tune.
And then
test and tunes.
And then I want to put it on a dyno so you can do the fine tuning on your computer.
Right.
Yeah,
and then one last one, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday at Freddy's. Freddy's on 1960 in Houston. Go do it. There you go, sir.
All right, thank you. Are we still good on all of our commercials and everything?
We got one more to end the show, and we're good.
I know.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's on you. You've got
it's always on me.
Headlines.
Well, I got that. Joe Biden's administration is set to ease proposed yearly requirements through 2030 of its sweeping plan to aggressively cut tailpipe emissions and ramp up electric vehicle sales, according to two sources, and they told Reuters. Automakers, dealers, and the UAW have urged the Biden administration to slow the proposed ramp-up in EV sales. They say EV technology is still too costly for many mainstream U.S. consumers, you think? And that more time is needed to develop the charging infrastructure. Okay, I'm done with this. I don't want more bad news. I don't want to hear this.
Don't be.
It's an election year. You're going to get a little bit more.
Just shut up.
Don't be dissing my buzz, man.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm negative vibes, man. Always with the negative vibes.
I want to go back to the sold car roundup from Hemmings.
Okay.
And we don't have to play the game. I just want to. These are some that I picked out because Leslie and I've been looking at Volkswagen Super Beetle. I don't remember what made it a Super Beetle, but in 1972 they had that, and there's one online that sold for $10,500.
Wow.
So if you're into VW bugs, then there you go.
Or Super Beetles.
This is actually for. I'm trying to think. This would be for your granddaughter.
Okay.
A 1999.
Kathy's got to listen up.
Buick Park Avenue. A 1999 Buick Park Avenue. Sold price $3,200.
He said that's
ding.
He said that's Kylie's car.
Yeah, Kylie's car.
Read it again.
99 Buick Park Avenue Beast. $3,200. We could put some wheels on it, lower it a little bit, let her pull into the car.
Put a sound system in the back.
Fuzzy dice.
Let her pull in the car parking lot with that. With all of her friends driving those JDMs. 64 Ford F-150 100. I'm sorry, Ford F-100. Sold price $10,500. Got a lot of patina on that.
Ah.
Here is the. Who was I talking to? Was it somebody? One of my friends I was telling about. The 1974 Volkswagen 13-window combi van.
Yeah.
Was it you? We talked about it. Here it is. Sold price $42,000. Back in the day, you could have bought 40 of those. 40 of them.
It's a fixer-upper.
No, it's not. This is a brand new.
Yeah, it's all restored.
That's
cheap.
$42,000.
40 grand for the 13 window. That's
a no.
Yeah, no, that's cheap.
$8,500 for a '66 Ford F-100. I don't know what it looks like underneath. It looks pretty good. You want a fire truck? You get one for $4,200. A 41 American LaFrance. No, would be my guess on that one. And finally, the 2007 Mercedes-Benz CL550. Here's another one for your granddaughter. Sold price $11,550. Look at that, Jeff. She'd be styling, and it's a two-door. She'd be styling going to school.
She's come up with the 11.5. I'll give her the 50.
Okay, I'm sure you would. Well, gentlemen, it's been a fun day out here at the HEMI Hideout.
Nice.
We've had a good time. Yeah. Uncle Bob showed up.
Yep.
He was here a minute ago. He's wandering around somewhere.
I think he was sitting down there.
Yeah, I know, but he's
behind the forest.
James Fox.
There you go.
And Gisele is here. Mm-hmm. Tommy Noto, CJ, Bill Insurance Sites. We've got our little.
You got somebody back there.
Somebody back there.
Who are you?
I'm trying to hide from them. I don't know who they are.
The young lady. You missed her.
That's CJ.
Okay. All right.
I got her.
I thought he was CJ.
No, she's right there.
Okay.
No, that's Tommy.
Tommy.
It's Tommy Noto, the fabulous Tommy Noto.
I've heard about that. I read that.
I know, and I brag about Tommy Noto all the time.
It was in the paper.
James will tell you. Yeah, he was in the wanted poster at the
post office.
At the post office.
Oh boy!
Oh, I thought that was who you were writing about on the bathroom wall.
Post office isn't having post office isn't doing well right now.
We're going to wrap up today's show right after a quick break. This is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Stay with us.
The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invite you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Well, that's it for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Here's your invitation to follow us on Facebook. Give us a like, tell your friends about us, and share our stuff if you would, please. We'll keep you posted on all things automotive all week long, including award-winning interviews, new car reviews, upcoming events, cruise-ins, racing, and car, truck, and SUV news. We need you to get your car fixed during the week. Don't forget, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 via the iHeartRadio app. We live stream this show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com, usually every Saturday, 8 to 11 a.m. Today was a little bit different.
Yep.
Daily 30-minute podcasts available from your favorite streaming provider. We post a new episode every day. Special thanks to John and Diane Hovis and Shelley Gates here at the HEMI Hideout. The In Wheel Time Marketing Advertising Advisor and a Video Technical Director is We Always Need More Jeff Zekin.
Yep.
For booking agent, video editor, posting queen, and overall do-it-all, Mike Mars, and chief engineer David Ainsley, I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you join us for another live, award-winning production of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show next Saturday, March 2nd already.
Yeah.
On all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there.